Welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's the 26th of January, 2023, year of our Lord. I haven't messed the year up yet. And I'm joined by none other than Pat. Pat, you're unmuted successfully. How's it going?
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
That was a joke that Pat did, and it made me scared.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It's been a little while. Obviously, you tried to prevent me from coming back on the stream, but I found out that you couldn't actually turn me down if I said, "Why don't we just do webcams today?"
Yeah, there's a lot of other reasons why I could turn you down, but when you make it that, you know, trivial, I'm like, sorry, we don't have internet tonight. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, here I is.
Here I is. Pat recently has been a bit under the weather, so we've all wished him well, and he's recovering a bit. So I told him to keep away from my household. Pat, thanks for joining us.
Did yes. No. You did, and it was forceful, and I appreciate that. You know, you got to do you got to do what you have to protect Nanako from my terrible illnesses.
All sorts of ailments. Ixaron, speaking of illness, hopefully you're feeling better. How you doing? Hey, Nerd Frog. Heart to y'all well. Seabass, how's it going? Sophie, he lives. Yes, there was never a doubt. Euroshiko also, welcome back. Hey, welcome to the stream. First time chat. It gives me an alert if I pay attention on Twitch, like who's first time chatting. So
oh, does that? Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that because I usually just have restream up, I don't get to see, but okay. Yo, Frisbee, how's it going? Today is a different stream slightly because I'm wearing headphones, which means I have a poor gauge of my volume in my speaking voice because these things are pretty isolating, so it's going to be a loud one. Otherwise, Pat, it is the beginning of a season of Netrunner stuff. The window to buy the, what's it called? The Circuit Breaker Invitational closed. And can I tell you that I got my order in 10 minutes before it closed?
I'd believe it if you said it.
Yeah, whoever posted on Reddit saying like, you have 12 hours to get this done, and I opened it and was like, whoa, 11 hours old. So I've heard that the last ones that you order are actually the nicest ones because the first ones they print, there's like issues. So
they're just trying things out, and by the end they finally figured it out. Yeah, that's how it goes.
So on that note, it looks like there's going to be Circuit Breaker Invitationals. I know other people from the Montreal Meta have ordered some stuff, so locally there'll be some stuff, but the one I ordered the big one, and we're going to be doing it online here. I don't honestly know how that works. I will be sending out prize support. I probably won't have an entry fee because I think we can do that, but it's going to be good fun. So stay tuned whenever that comes in. It's being shipped over from, I think, Spain. We'll have it for you, and I'm pretty excited for that. Otherwise, Patrick, organized play. Have you been playing Netrunner in person? I think you have been.
Just a little bit. Like since like Parhelion came out, I think I've only been to Silver Goblin once or twice. Yeah, but I mean, partly because I have not been feeling. I've been feeling pretty under the weather, so I haven't always had the energy to get up and go. Yeah, but it's been a fun time. Last time I went, I didn't build my own decks. I played other people's, and there was already some fun ideas out there. A lot of Asa, which I'm happy to see.
Yeah. It's really fun. Silver Goblin, what are people playing? Are they playing Startup or Standard? Mind you, all this stuff happens if you're in Montreal Monday night, the Silver Goblin, if you want to drop in. It's there's a fair few people going. It actually looks really nice. I wish I could go.
Yeah. I played both. I
Cool.
think I played startup and standard. I didn't see a preference one way or the other, and a lot of people bring decks for everything if they can.
The cool thing now with the rotation for startup is every startup deck, if I'm not mistaken, is legal in standard. And they used to not be the case,
Mm,
where you couldn't
yep.
take some of your startup decks and just be like, F it, I'll play it in standard, which is not always a mistake. It's probably a mistake. Smaller card pool generally means more restrictions. But because there is no ban list, I think you're fine. I don't think there's any card that's in startup that's banned in standard, so you're good to go.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing in Parhelion has been banned yet,
Yet.
and nothing ever will be.
Never, never, not once.
Mhm.
I have no idea what's going on. Hopefully, we're seeing a ban list, I think, within a month or so. Some people want it. Who knows? Ixtern feeling 100% better. Thanks. Oh, glad to hear it. That's really good. Tim Burden, how's it going? Circuit openers, you mean? Yes, I mean openers. The Invitational is a tournament that happened a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean the openers. So, yeah, the stuff that you compete in to get the stuff to do the thing later next year, just about. I'm watching from a sleep center tonight. I
Yes.
don't know how that works. If this is going to have any sort of impact on medical analysis of sleep, maybe for the better. I hope you're doing well. Lucas asks, is the tournament going to be async or an all day thing? I honestly don't know. And because this is something I want to do for, the community, for the channel, I'd like to know what y'all their opinions are. Doing it all in one day is really good in terms of like content. And then it also is nice to get it done. Doing it over weeks and having an asynchronous where like every week you have one or two opponents and you have to get your matches in and have to log the stuff. I reckon that's super convenient for a lot of people and more people can participate. I'm worried that like judge calls are not really a thing you can do. It's probably a bit looser as a format. I'm not actually sure if the format allows you to do that. I'm not sure. I have to look at what the rules are for running your own circuit opener. But I'll look into it. I'm not sure which way to go. Because on one way it'd be nice to do it all in one day. Another way it's like kind of drags on for a bit. So I'm a bit nervous either way. Hey Basil, how's it going? Very cool. Although it makes it easy to accidentally play a startup deck in a standard game on JNet. Yeah, I've done that last week. It's very easy to do that. Perfectly balanced release. Hey Scrub, how's it going? Hey Frank, how you doing? Hey Pat Andre. Hey guys. Today
Howdy.
we're going to continue. So we did some startup last week. I had some good fun playing criminal startup. I want to do more startup criminal because I think we were far away from figuring out what a good deck should be like. We totally forgot Reprise as the card, which is something I definitely want to be playing more.
I was about to say, like, you start with putting 3 Reprise in every criminal deck, and then you have 42 cards to figure out.
Genuinely, it looks so good because everyone slaps their good piece of ice on HQ to keep out, the wake implant, let alone all the other nonsense you're going on. And like, if you can
Mhm.
return that to hand, you kind of win the game, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see how
The
it
more
goes.
expensive, the better. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Um, So I did some recording today. Again, apologies, there hasn't been a lot of video content up on the channel, but I did recording this afternoon. I'll be wearing the same clothing, you'll be able to tell. And I'm looking to edit that together and it should be up on Saturday. And that's also startup content, some startup corp, which has been really good. And I had actually a fair bit of fun.
Yeah. I'm assuming David is talking to me. I
Yeah.
have a nice beard, thank you very much. Yeah, I've been growing this out for about 3 or 4 years now, and it's finally become visible. So, just kind of enjoying the, attention that's been getting, before I just shave it all off for, like, a job interview or something.
Do you have plans? How long do you think it's going to
Mhm.
last?
I
Do you
don't
think you would? If you had to go to an interview, you'd be like, I'm not presentable? That's always like such a hard call to make upon oneself.
it's hard to go well, yeah, like, if it were like a date, you have to go as yourself, you have
Yeah.
to show them who you really are. If you go to a job interview, you have to be a different person,
Yes,
or
correct.
I have to be a different person than the person I really am.
But that's
Uh,
a good idea. Like that's just generally a
yeah,
good idea.
exactly,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah. But then again, the beard is not who I normally am.
Yeah, it's true.
Am I a different person? Like, do I feel like I have more gravitas with the beard? Do I, like, radiate a certain kind of maturity and authority? And maybe responsibility that Patrick, the baby face Patrick with only a millimeter of shadow
It's
has.
weird. It's like, so many
Hmm.
people expect that growing some amount of facial hair will make you, more respectable, but like 90% of the time it's just people who do not shave. And so it's like the exact opposite to some extent. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
let's talk about what masculinity really is. Am I right?
Yeah, let's get into it. It's about time.
Uh, I found my old FFG invoice for 180 corsets. Wow. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. Yeah, that's usually for the best, right? Yo, Zardos, how's it going? Happy Friday evening. Happy Friday. It's Thursday here, but hey, Friday's a good one too. Lucas says GLC ran async. It's nice, but has many issues. I'm sure the people who ran it there would probably be happy to discuss. Yeah, maybe I should
Hmm.
talk to somebody about that because it's like definitely the most easy way to get into a tournament, especially with time zones and all that. But I reckon there's a lot of problems with it as well. Okay, Patrick, deck list of the week. Have you
Mhm.
seen this one?
I'm looking at it now. It's the LMFAO. Oh, you have it on your screen as well. I can see.
Mhm.
No, I haven't taken a look at these yet.
Okay,
I have not taken a look at this yet.
so
I notice it has 0 reprise, so
yeah,
that's interesting.
but standard. I think the bar to
Mm,
reprise is a bit higher for this one. This is Rongi Dogged or Doge, excuse me. That came
mhm,
third place, the top criminal at CBI. You got to see this on stream if you want to watch it. Again, twitch.tv, or it's actually on YouTube if you search the Null Signal Games YouTube channel.
mhm.
And it doesn't have a win condition. It just doesn't. It has like no multi-axis. It's trying to win off singles, which let me tell
Yeah,
you,
huh.
boy, do I hate that. But it performed quite well. I think if
Mhm,
you're looking at this and trying to analyze like what people are doing for the meta, there's a lot you can tell from this deck. Firstly, 2 no free lunch, and then we're on how many pinhole threading? 3 pinhole threading. You're seeing more people play more pinholes and less no free lunches. It kind of makes sense.
mhm,
A lot of this is tech for the Drago decks and the Reality Plus, but you still have to deal with things like Vientian Keeling, just getting sometimes rid of defensive upgrades, let alone just like a Rashida, Spin Doctor. All that stuff is really good. So you're seeing that a lot. You have one Mad Dash, which is pretty normal. It's a bit stranger in
mhm,
this deck because a lot of the Mad Dash criminal decks are also running Stargate, so they have a way to guarantee they're finding an agenda. And while people are using pinhole threading as pseudo exposed, that's pretty cool. We
that's
don't
fair.
actually have any exposed. Like we're not playing. What's that exposed card that a lot of criminals play? 419s play?
Not
Falsified
credentials.
credentials, yes.
Mhm,
So we don't have that. In fact, we have a similar card, Forged Activation Orders.
mhm,
I think this is largely just a goof with like Ag Infusion, I guess. Maybe you can
mhm.
destabilize the poor economy of some NBN decks before you face check, especially because
Yeah,
if
that's
they
kind of
res
fun.
things like ping or whatever, you don't get the tag and they actually pay money. I don't think you want to forge to ping, but it's a weird splash. I'm not sure if Rongi calls it out and says like that's something I would do again, but it's pretty interesting. But
Mhm,
like all we have is Docklands Pass. And I think there's a lot of good cards you can consider playing. Like you have Wake Implant, which is like the really big one in the modern format that
mhm.
admittedly is R&D and HQ pressure as much as you have to get into HQ for it to be good. I do explain my reasoning. Yo, Rongi, how's it going? Congrats on your finish. Hey, Andre. So it's wild. The triple fermenter is like kind of a surprise, and this is a card a lot of people were kind of down on when it came out, just seeing as not being as
Mhm,
efficient. But now with a lot of the drip economy, the inevitable economy, things like pad tap have been gone for a while, Rozeki been gone for a while. This is kind of like your best econ card by a mile. This thing is such a big deal in the standard format, let alone in startup as well, where you install it for one. And then you only crack it if and when you need it in 4 to 5 turns. And if it gets returned to hand with a self-growth program, like it's fine. You lost money, but you
mhm.
didn't invest a lot into it. So who cares? This thing is really, really good. And then for card
That's
draw,
the thing.
we have
I
Diesel. Mhm.
is the influence really worth it though? Is there nothing better that 419 wants with 6 influence?
I think it might be. I think it might be the best slot for influence. Like the other 419
Mm,
decks where they're spending influence, like Paperclip, Cleaver. Not a lot of people are playing Tremolo. That makes sense,
mhm,
especially with this deck. The big thing is that in terms of the console, a lot of people moved off of the endurance, and this is largely a
mm.
response to the Reality Plus deck, where getting your 8 cost console return to hand is such a
Yeah.
problem. So people are going more for the Paragon for the filtering. You're actually seeing a fair more competitive Paragon than you're seeing competitive Penny Shaver. Albeit Penny
Hmm,
Shaver in some ways can be better against acid spam. This is good. It's credits up front and scry, especially when you have like, I don't know, the forged activation orders you do or don't want to draw. But
mhm,
yeah, I honestly think that's a really good use of influence. I think the other use of influence might be like a legitimate win condition, just to get some sort of multi-axis in there. Whether that's
mm.
a finality, I'd be a bit surprised. Whether that's just a wake implant, that's a nice start. That's kind of like your old turning wheels. It's cool though. It's just good old criminal. Nothing too. One Mad Dash is a win condition. So the one Mad Dash is like a really important card. And again, all these Ag Infusion decks, all the NBN Reality Plus decks are running entirely, if not majority, 3-point agendas. So this makes it so you can win in 2 agendas as opposed to 1. Now it's actually easier to play Mad Dash into a lot of those decks because they're running a lot of 5-3 agendas that have additional cost to steal. So if you run R&D and you see like a Bologna or like a Degree Mill, you don't have to steal it, which means you can go run back with the Mad Dash. And that's obviously quite good. Not sure how this is going to play against a sports medal or anything fast because we have like no way to deal with them besides like a diversion of funds. But hey, we have Amakua. We also have a really bad decoder, so hopefully we never need that because this is not good at breaking anything. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's try it.
We know the
Alright.
fermenter is the best because Rongi included it. Rongi made all these decisions. Hey, Janktivist. You Janktivist, were you like silly enough to back that riffle thing from that? What is that game? Chip Theory Games game. I'm forgetting the name now. You know the one I'm thinking of.
Is Chip Theory the too many bones people?
Yeah, too many bones. I got my riffle in. Well, I got my mail that riffle is coming, which is something I regret buying. But
Alright, let me gonna look up Chip Theory Games Riffle.
4-9. I do value Cradle versus Unity in the screenshot. Hold on. How nice are the screenshots? Because there's a good write-up here, and I read this like maybe last weekend or when this came up.
I don't understand what this is.
Oh, there's too many curses here. Sorry. All right, we're off.
All right.
Runner, standard. Here we go. Can't curse that much, Rangi. You know how YouTube demonetizes people?
That's true.
I've
They won't let you like play your video in minimized mode if it's tagged for kids, and yet if you add too many swears, you also can't advertise it to kids. I don't understand. It's a paradox.
Hey, John Thomas, you given your thoughts on Scarlet Keys yet? I haven't sit down on the stream and had my 20-minute Scarlet Keys talk. And honestly, I'm kind of lucky. What's going on here? Sorry, while I fix this, that we haven't exactly. So I'm in the middle of another Scarlet Keys campaign. This will technically be my third. I've done it once entirely solo, which actually went really fast and I had a good enough time. But I haven't seen all the scenarios, so I don't actually know what's there that I'm missing. But I definitely think it's a pretty nuanced campaign, and a lot of folks are going to have opinions on it. Obviously, myself as well. But yeah, something's wrong here. Oh, I imported the deck already. I already had it. We're past the first 8 seconds. It's fine. One of the biggest questions I always ask myself when I play Too Many Bones is, why don't I also have a deck of cards? Don't worry, they solved that, and they inlaid them with gold or something. Thanks, you too. Oh. All right. Reality Plus, this is the matchup that this deck is in a large way built to beat. This is 44 cards, so we're assuming it might just be all the 5/3s, and we have a lot of tech for it. I'm not sure what to do with the forged activation orders, but a big part of this deck is just setting up, being prepared to deal with the Drago when it shows up, because that's how we lose the game. They're often not trying to score out. We're generally playing control, and we're generally trying to keep the Dragos down to the point where we can pivot to a win condition and hopefully win in a single turn with a Mad Dash if we're really lucky. But that's all it is. We're playing full control. So we need to get our fermenters down. We need to get our economy up, and no free lunch, keep a pinhole in hand, and then make sure we have breakers. The 419 pressure will work, but we're generally not going for single accesses. We're generally just setting up a bit. This end's fine, but we can do better. We can also do worse, it turns out.
That's not bad. Like, start with the diesel. Yes, I wish we had the burst money from the last hand, but this is fine.
Yeah, we have to be careful that we don't run and get harding news. Usually the lists are running 1 or 2. That hand was absolute banker. I think that hand was probably actually pretty good. The double sure gamble star was nice. Inside jobs are not great. We can consider dirty laundering archives. They only have 4 credits, so we're probably pretty safe, but we could just open up with this. All right, not great. Dirty laundry, though, we generally don't go for singles. So the ice we're expecting, Funhouse, Turnpike, IP block, all that stuff, or the IP block gets more interesting once we get the Amakua down. Everything that's link-based, even like the what's it called? The Turnpikes. They become a problem when we pay for it, but I think we're just going to set up. These are really ugly econ cards. Yeah, I regret what we did with our mulligan. We want to figure out what's on HQ so we can diversion sooner than later. On 4 credits.
HQ, then fermenter, or?
Well, we're likely to take a tag because if it's a ping or something else. So I think we can just install the fermenter here, click for a credit. Like, we can play it pretty slow. Getting down the Cat's Cradle on its own might not be great, but it means that they pay 6 credits to res Funhouses. Some of these lists are also running Enigmas. That's what the FAO is for, baby. Yeah, if we had a forge, we would forge HQ. Fair. I think that's totally true.
And we had a forge in that first hand.
Yeah, didn't we?
Yep.
So see, again, this could be a slower matchup. We're putting some economic pressure on them. We know that's a Funhouse. So we know that if they're less than 4 credits, we can forge it away. Funny enough here, we can actually install the Cat's Cradle and then like just dirty laundry, and they can't. Yeah. You want to do it?
Yeah, for sure. So then the Funhouse costs 6, and
let's just bravado.
Get in. That makes sense.
It's a bit more money. We have 3 to trash, which should trash just about every card we expect in the deck. But yeah, not a great install. This means we can steal degree mills early, but we generally don't want to. But yeah, now the Funhouse is 6 credits because Cat's Cradle increases all of the code gates by 1. I wonder if they're trying to res it here. I know it catches me off guard when I'm like, why won't it let me? There's lag. But also, I have been lagging pretty hard on JNet, so sometimes it's hard to tell if there's lag or not.
Opponent angrily smashing the res button.
Oh, I would be too. It's a headline. Whoa.
All right. Yeah.
So that's 2 cards with 2 credits. We get our money back. We're going to want to clear the tag. In terms of tag punishment, they went for cards. So we're going to be on 8 credits and a link. We can definitely draw up a bit here. We have 1 click to draw up. I think if we drew into a no free lunch, we probably wouldn't play it. So being 8 to 5 with link is good enough, and we'll take that.
That'll be helpful. Yeah.
This
Is
is
Juice as Wild, but also been is
yeah,
Juice as Wild in the deck? I
yeah,
can't remember.
2.
Yeah.
I think we have 2.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they pushed for this. It looks like a different deck.
Hmm.
It's an IP block, so we go through that for 2 credits. So here, it's hard to tell what this is. We could always pinhole to check, and I think that might be fair. This could be a Drago, it could be a Spin Doctor. I think we can pinhole, because if it is an agenda, we can always just go get it. But if it's an agenda and it's not a 5/3, they're not scoring it.
I kind of want to just run this normally.
Yeah, it's just as cheap. You're right. IP block.
That's like pinhole threading is going to be valuable later. I don't know. It feels like a throwaway when like we know one ice can't be res, the other one is.
Oh,
You know.
Jackson's right. This looks like the fast break list. There's a fast break NBN list that's running a lot of small agendas. Yeah, it's posted on JNet or on Netrunner DB. I saw it, but I didn't look hard at it. I think we're dirty laundering here. Yeah. Because we'll have 6 credits and links. So if they spend 2, the most they can make is trace 8, which would be pretty bad for them. And we can still, we can't beat it actually if they trace 8. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't dirty laundry. That'd be.
I don't know. That's not terrible.
Oh, trace 6. No, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, forcing. Yeah.
All right, so we pay 2 because we do have link. This is trace 3 to give a tag, and it only ends the run if you are tagged. We know they can't res this. To fly on the wall. So yeah, this does seem like a fast break list. I'm not sure what it can do to us, but I'm worried that it can do something with the fly on the wall and give us tags. So we definitely want to get some no free lunches down. Their ice suite actually might be different, but everything right now looks pretty standard.
Hi, Clayton.
Yeah, let's just get money, I reckon. Hey, Clayton, how's it going? I feel sorry for the corp. I've encountered that runner. It's a corpse nightmare. Derek, how's it going? 419 is like, it kind of forces fundamentals to be really hard checked, like economic denial. All this stuff is really quite strong. And it kind of prevents you from playing the game, which is what a lot of people don't like 419 entirely, because it just kind of, slows the games down, especially if you're not playing something totally optimal. They paid a credit for this. Now, if it's a Drago, what could happen?
Okay.
Not too much.
Yeah, they're up to 4. Give you a tag. What does that really do for us?
We could force a diversion, right? It's either they res or we get our credit swing.
Yeah.
Again,
or we could
this costs 2 credits to res, and I feel like they're feeding us agendas on purpose, right? Like
it's like a stock buyback or
it has fast break, right? So they want us to steal a lot of agendas. I think we can maybe hit HQ. Why one Drago when you have 3x fly on the wall? Because it's not so much about the single tag, it's about the inevitable tag like storm. And also Drago's only 2 clicks, this is 3. So they have to install advance it or install advance to be able to do something with it, unless they have either what's it called, seamless or some way to get clicks. I'm gonna drop once. Class act is good. I don't know if we have to run this. If they score at just about any agenda besides, just about any agenda for them is actually really expensive, barring fly on the wall. So I don't think we mind. We can just put this down, right?
Yeah, sure. Do we want to like get dirty laundry a central? Well, it's too late now, but
no, we have one more. I just don't think we really need to.
Fair.
That's what we want. 2 of these. The tag punishment is scoring freedom of information. Oh, the 4/2 if we're tagged. Yeah. All right, I was on Jinteki earlier, didn't do really as good, of course. I haven't played in a while. Yeah, 419's exposed. It's just like inherently attached to some Jinteki trap decks because of the exposed, let alone the credit denial, and that deck is not generally like very economically viable. Uh-oh. Looks like it's an upgrade. That could be an Amaze Amusement or a Prize Sec. Both of those are kind of hard to deal with, and there's a stock buyback, so they have 9 credits here. So I think we need to figure out what's on HQ, right?
Yeah, I think we gotta. We just
Amaze is free.
Well, I mean,
right?
Yeah, still don't have that forward activation. That's unfortunately.
Yeah.
Amaze is free or 1. I can't remember.
I think they have to res it for 1. So we can always run HQ again. I don't want to put down the Amakusa as much as it would solve most of our issues. Let's go. I guess we can put this down. This doesn't avoid tags. I always forget that. It removes tags. So we can run HQ. If it's a ping, it's really kind of ugly. If it's an IP block, it's fine. It's an IP block. So we actually could diversion through here. That's good to know. Now, admittedly, they can always boost into the trace if they're really worried about the diversion.
Yeah, like that gives them options. Like,
yeah,
you won't get any money and you'll end up with a tag or something.
This is going to be a grind.
Take the tags, right?
No, it gives them 2 credits or cards, and then it's in archives. We can't dirty laundry or Amakusa archives.
Oh, right, it goes into archives. I forgot.
Yeah, it doesn't remove from game. It's not like, the other one.
Nightmare archive.
Nightmare, yeah.
So on.
So we have a lot of money potentially. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do because this deck, I have no idea what it's
I
playing.
don't really love the diversion play here because that's just
Yeah, they could trace through it really hard, and then we'd end up in an ugly spot. Admittedly, it'd be like mutually assured destruction of some
yeah.
sorts. I think we can just
And
play really safe, dirty laundry, double, no free lunch, right?
yeah, that makes sense to me.
Let's go HQ again. Here they could trace us out again. I think it would be pretty bad for them. Laundry Archives, double NFL. I think I'm gonna go HQ.
Upgrades are Sanson and Arella. I like Arella.
Ooh,
I've always been
Arella
a big
makes a
fan of Arella.
lot of sense.
Actually, now that I'm looking at this deck, I'm like, if Arella is like one of their main upgrades, it sounds kind of like my sports metal deck that I played for like 3 years straight.
We got purged out. That's wild.
Hmm.
So let's see what it is. We have the double no free lunch, so we're not really about like tag shenanigans, but they can always tempo out agendas. Now the cool thing is we do have like diversion into running this because this is a really taxing ice. We know that's Funhouse, but that's 6 for them to res. They're just drying up. So maybe we don't have to worry about server 1. We did get reset on our fermenter, but like it is what it is. Uh-oh, this is a soup.
How do we know it's a pinhole?
Stream a virus, that tracks, and that's okay. We're not gonna rely on Amaku into this. But we just need to get like an access every turn, hopefully a cheap one. As soon as we see a Turnpike on R&D, like it's messed up. Turnpike is just nonsense for a card that costs 2. Just nonsense. All right. So we'd have to get our paperclip down if we want to really make sure we diversion. That seems bad. Let's do a filter draw. I think we diesel here. If we diesel, like we have too many cards. Maybe we just install a fermenter. I don't know.
I'm not sure. What are we drawing for right now? Like
breakers, economy, pinhole, the rest of the game really. Yeah. This is fast advance score from the remote with the Rel and Sansan. Yeah, that's what I reckon it is. They don't have the money exactly to do it though, so I really like the diversion. So
in that case, yeah.
Do we just diversion here? Let's see what they do with the trace. Like we can clear the tag clicklessly.
The opportunity to. Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, admittedly though, if we go through this, they can res the Sansan, and then diversion is actually really bad.
Yeah. That's a good point. Is this a pinhole moment?
No, we don't know what to call, right? Like it's very likely to hit an Arella that we don't want to trash, from a virus, which we would trash, but there's not really good. NFL doesn't stuff fly on the wall in the case because all the scoring happens in one window of the Freedom of Information score. Oh shit, you're right. But then we'd only have 1 tag, right? Don't you need 2 tags? Or it becomes a 3-2. I see. Because we don't have priority there. Yeah, that's actually kind of neat. Yeah, I know the diversion won't work because they'll be able to res through. We can always run this, make them pay 6 for the funhouse and bounce.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I just wish we had more money.
So we could actually get in there and trash stuff.
Yeah. I think we just diesel. We probably should have taken the fermenter.
Diesel for money?
Yeah, hopefully we get something. Oh, that's not good.
Forge activation yet.
Yeah, forging and trashing a funhouse that we know it is actually would be pretty sick. Do we have to respect hard hitting? I don't know if it's in this list. But this is ugly. We don't play the Amakua.
We put down Paragon at least.
We haven't run yet. I think we Paragon, run Archives, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think we run Archives and just mutually favor for a paperclip, so we have access to it. We can discard some cards here. The deck has 0 hard end the runs, as far as I know. Have we FAO'd? No, yo, we had a good hand. Oh, shit, there's a virus in here. I keep forgetting about that. That's fine. Jeff, no, we haven't yet, but it'd actually be really good because this is a 6-cost funhouse, and we know that. I didn't mean to install that. Whoops. We have no reason to install that. We'll install it when and if we need it, so we can just discard it. End turn. So what are we going to get rid of? Inside jobs are okay.
Keep the Amakua.
No.
If they're going for a heavy IP block kind of thing.
No, definitely not. And 3 virus, right? So we can get rid of 1 more. Inside job. It's not really good for this board state, but at some point maybe it gets us around something. I think we don't need 2 of them. Then why run? That's a good point. Yeah. Well, it's the same. It risks hard hitting news. Yeah, we could have not ran, and then we'd actually have 2 on fermenter. Mulligan out of FAO. Yo, I didn't think it would be that good. Turns out it's sick.
Do we know what's on R&D? I can't remember.
No, we have no idea. This is a clown car. I'm assuming the newest one might be an agenda, but like, oh, it is a Sansan. So we know that's a Sansan. So in theory, if we run this...
Singularity.
Yo, can't you light the fire this? That'd be sick.
Yeah, I guess we can light the fire.
So, okay, if we get down our paperclip, We have to install it for 4, and then we can boost for 3. So it's 7. And then we have 8 for the diversion. Now they can res the Sansan, they can res a Rella, so that's 6, 7 credits. What else
They'll
can they
res
res?
everything and leave us with. Yeah, I don't know. That seems.
But I think it's better if they don't have. Like I think it's fine if they don't have money.
Like we force them to res all that stuff and then we go and trash it.
No, I think we do. We just hope that they're bankrupt.
Excuse me.
It's just it's really hard if they have a Sansan up that we can't deal with. We need an FAO. We definitely need an FAO. Let's draw ones. Sick. Okay, now if we force their credits down, we can make the remote server not a real thing. So I think we do it. I think we just did a version into FAO, right?
Yes, we do.
This might not be the right play, but it's the fun play.
Something seems wrong about all this. David has a hunch.
We got there. Yeah, we found it. So let's see if they pre-res. They should duck some stuff. It's just hard to duck everything because they're on 11. Like they can duck to 5, but like how much more can they duck here? A virus res maybe?
Arella is 2.
Okay.
Mavarus is 3.
That could be all their money, and we'll take an access. Oh, okay, cool. So that's all their money. So we don't know this. So we'll do the breach. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, nice.
That was worth it. We might get hard news. It'd be kind of unlikely. Stock buyback is a terminal, but they do have like a burst decon card. They probably have 3 of them in stock buyback.
But we're also in a fine position to survive a harding news. We'll have like a double fermenter and 2 no free lunches next turn. Like that.
Yeah.
That's totally survivable.
Yeah, ideally we don't want to like burst with this. So like I don't know what we need to draw. Deuces would be okay. All the dirty laundries are good. Like I don't know what we draw that gets us out of the hole.
Yeah. Hi Jay. I've actually Board Game Arena added a couple really good ones, and I've been getting back into that. So I've been playing Caverna. Obviously not a new game. War Chest is one of my favorites by the same designers as Undaunted.
Yeah.
And I like War Chest quite a bit.
The one time I played it, I bounced off of it, and I feel like I might have understood the rules wrong because it's totally the sort of thing I think I'd like. Need immediately kill Sansa with Pinhole. I think we will. Maybe not this turn. Maybe we should have popped a no free lunch to do it. Yeah, because they can score out here, and then Arella will cascade. We'll see how bad it is.
Yeah. Been playing it's very simple but kind of satisfying engine building game called It's a Wonderful World or something.
The phone one?
No, it's not a phone. It's a card game where you just like you collect resources. The resources help you build cards, and then the cards produce more resources. And the cards represent all these weird things like, oh, you've built Solomon's Mines and also time travel. Like it's just a very weird collection of kind of out there ideas.
I feel like we maybe should have trashed this. Oh man, I didn't know they could do this. What is this?
That's a lot of things happening in one turn. I'm liking this a lot.
Yeah, if we trash the Sansan, they can't do any of this. That's wild. Okay, so we're gonna clear the tag.
That's very cool.
They purged. That's cute. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I didn't respect it. I didn't know what this deck could do. So we definitely want to trash the Sansan. It's 5 to trash, and then at that point we're weak to hard hitting news. So we can always just like no free lunch Pinhole. Is it cheaper than going through the IP block? Yeah, a bit cheaper. That's a pretty wild combo. Oh shit! Sorry.
The Thanos. Yeah. I mean, I like BGA Caverna quite a bit because of the prompts. Like it reminds me to do things in the right order, which is for some reason something I always get the order wrong when I'm playing a Caverna or Agricola. Like, I don't know. It just very helpful. Like yes, a lot of prompts, but also lots of useful automation.
Okay, imagine we did that right. Oof. So our plus deck is bonkers. It's really interesting. I have no idea what it's capable of and whether we should be respecting hard hitting news or not. They don't have a lot of money, and now they have to jam in this remote server. But like Arella is like a ridiculously tempo positive card.
Arella's gets you a lot of value.
Have we drawn yet this turn? No. So we can do a filter draw. Bravado is good enough at some point. I don't think we want the Docklands. Docklands is not the worst. It's just we need to get our money up, and we have I think 2 Docklands. Gawking Goblins for Christmas, and I'm playing it this weekend. If you haven't played it, Pat, highly recommend. A great Euro.
Oh, I've heard that's good. Mr. Six says the hardest click for a credit, which I think is a White Stripes song, is definitely like my top 5 White Stripes song.
Oh shit, they have it. So that actually means they can score out on the table. They can score out right now if that's a freedom. Oh no, because it ends their action phase.
It ends their turn. Yeah.
All right, so we've gone tag me. The question is what the punishment is. I think it's just us getting fast advanced on. I think here we can just bravado R&D and start clearing some amount of the tags. I think we want to clear at least 3 of the tags if we can. Punish is only freedom of info. Yeah, we haven't seen any. If we can steal them, we can actually go maybe full tag me. We have our breaker for the IP block. The only problem is quantum, but if we can steal the freedoms, we're in an okay spot. Okay.
Get another point.
So what is the text on freedom? It's -1 for each agenda point. So we can just clear 3 tags.
Is that the one that starts at 6?
It's a 4-2. No, you're thinking of the bad pub one.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna clear the tags. Might be wrong. But their economy doesn't seem great.
Also been playing the new Summoner Wars stuff. Really liking Summoner Wars 2nd edition quite a bit.
Shipping from Vlad is a legitimate threat, but we need 2 tags for it. That's another good reason to clear 3 tags. Yo, I've been playing Heat. I think Heat's been really great, and I know Shut Up and Sit Down covered it, but like been enjoying it a lot. And I did not like Flamme Rouge really. I've been finding out. No,
because I remember we played Flamme Rouge. I thought you were okay with it.
I wanted to like it, and everyone we played with was just like, "Oh, I just play cards and go that fast." It was missing something. I think that's a big part.
It does feel a bit more flavorful.
Yes.
From what I've seen about it, I haven't actually watched Shut Up Sit Down's review. I've listened to the podcast where they talk about it.
I don't think we get the Forge. Now we do. Yeah, now we do. We do
the
credit.
Wayfarers look awesome. What I've seen of the upcoming Mountain Vargath, which was my favorite faction from 1st edition,
probably shouldn't have drawn.
They look so much like the 1st edition. It's just very cool. Like they've got a summoner. Everyone around them gets plus strength, so you just move in a formation. I like it. Oh, and
that wasn't
Artisans
great.
of Splendid Veil, of course.
Oh yeah,
more of that.
Yeah, we've been playing Splendid Veil. We started that as a campaign like 2 weekends ago. I think we're doing another one this weekend. That's been actually like kind of really cool.
Yeah, or at least like the game I imagine it's going to become.
Yes,
is very cool, but I don't yet quite see it in the like the 3.5 game days what we played.
But the book thing is so charming.
The book thing is super charming. I love that. But there's elements of the game that I'm like, I think this could be like 10% more interesting, and then it'll be great. And maybe because we've only done like the tutorial, like the world is about to open up, I think.
Yeah.
So I have to assume that we're going to get much more interesting combats, more interesting decisions to make.
What can they do? They got a Sand down.
I mean, with 1 credit in Norella, like if they
good, it was a QPM.
Fair enough. Is this deck running NGO front? Because that's a useful one with Arella as well.
I'd be super surprised. I think it just wants to combo out. Oh, they shuffled that back. I forgot we had that at some point.
That's funny. Okay.
This is ridiculous. This is really cool. And I guess with 3 Mavirus, it can deal with Clot in some interesting way. Flamme Rouge is great, especially if you like cycling very thematic while being very easy to teach. I feel like there's a bunch of games that I tried on TTS and I did not fully enjoy. I think Flamme Rouge is definitely one of them. I'm worried that I need to play Caper Europe again because it also bounced off of TTS. But like Marvel Champions, I did not enjoy playing on Tabletop Simulator until I played in person. All right, well, we have to bring that down. No way around it. So you're gonna run server 1, break for 3, trash for 5. Maybe we access a QPM. At this point, like, oh, that's not right. Yeah, I feel like with the fast breaks, though, they just have so many ways to close the game that we just need to get accesses to win. But I think we have to keep this down. Caper Europe is fun. Yeah, it probably is better. The production value is like really nice, and I wanted to like it so much more. Gotta take a news team for your trouble, unfortunately. Yeah, we're definitely gonna take a news team. Let's access the unknown, I guess, first. It's 2 tags.
News team.
So they're using that to protect it. So we take 2 tags. They have freedom informations that are 1/2s. We can't take that. So we have to just take 2 tags. That's really cool. This feels like QPM 3. I'd be kind of surprised if it's QPM 3. Like QPM is going to go wherever it wants. I guess that's some way to protect it. Oh, wait, we were not meant to take the tags. Wait. Now we know that they gain credits instead of cards, so I don't feel comfortable, whatever. Because we learned information about them. That's actually not a good thing. Yeah, I learned you're not drawing, which is important enough not to be able to take the redo. Yeah, that's actually like really important information. So I'm not going to fix that. Rella, nope. So like we can access HQ. That's no good. They have 3 credits now too. Maybe we did that in the wrong order, so they can probably res R&D ice. We want to keep their money down. They did get their ability once, but yeah, at this point we have to just hit the freedom informations because 1 freedom information wins the game. Wow, this is a mess. If you're not prepared for this, this can actually really get you bad. Ugh. All right, well that's probably it. We can't go back. We just don't have the money, so we're gonna try and hit R&D here.
Hoping for that 4-pointer. Come on.
We're gonna need more.
Come on, Vanity Project. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to hit the freedoms, but I think they have one in hand. We just can't afford the access. All right. That puts them into 1 credit. I think we're okay with that. So at least they would get their tag no matter what. We lose a credit. This card is... I don't get this card. I don't understand how this card exists. All right, that's good.
Jesus. They only need 1 credit to win. Also,
yep.
Post-Truth Dividend, I wrote the flavor text for.
Oh, yeah?
The 2-1.
Hey, kid, I remember when Daddy says about lying, only we can get away with it.
There were several arguments with successive people about how to apply the quotation marks in the second phrase.
Oh, it's triple quotes?
Yeah, because the child is quoting Daddy.
Yeah.
So I put like double quotes and then single quotes. And I'm like, yeah. And people are like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. God damn it, I'm sure. So this is the only thing I'm good at. Please let me do this.
We have to win off of R&D. It's a free server to run, quote unquote free. It's possible.
It is possible.
There's only 1 more QPM, so they can't win off of our like bumbling into this. Unfortunately, we can't even trash anything we see. And we can't threaten Spin Doctor, which would threaten a shuffle. They also can draw here or gain 2, so that's not good. Yeah, they need 0 credits. Now they're all free agendas.
And they're just going to draw up. They are going to draw into the answer and then...
Oh, they're shuffling back?
Just to make it worse for us.
So fast break, that makes sense. 3 influence. I didn't know the influence on that one. It's good to know.
I guess there's a chance.
And a stock buyback, which seems just an untrashable. So we could do credit inside job HQ. Again, they have 15 credits. They have probably another fast break in hand. So yeah, there's a chance there's agendas and archives. There is, but definitely not enough to win. So I don't think we want to interact with that. So like we can get 1 access on HQ and then hopefully they only have 1 good agenda. It's like the best we have is like this. I think there's nothing else we can do.
All right.
It's just when they shuffle the Spin Doctor, there's like no way there's enough agendas in there to win.
All right.
You can have more tags. Love it. Yeah, Mark, this deck looks really cool. It's like super surprising because people play a different way against it. And that's going to be it. That's going to be a post-truth. Yeah, freedom information. There you go. Good game. That's cool. Whose deck was this originally? Was this played at hey, cheers, you too. Enjoyed helping coming up with this deck. It's so good. Kakai, thank you. Yeah, I think there was the 1 turn where we didn't trash the Sansan, and I think that cost us the game. I don't think we were in a good spot going into that point, but that definitely cost us the game. Just leaving the Sansan up for 1 turn, like you don't expect what they can do with it. But that's wild.
Yeah, I'm looking up the deck now. How much influence is fast break?
Yeah, hey, that's what we asked too. it's 30, it turns out. First undefeated Norwich CO. Where's Norwich? Like in the UK, I reckon. It's the deck list of next week. I think that's probably true. So it's on 2 fast break, a single hard hitting news. So we got a bit unfortunate there. Stock buyback, 2 Arella, 2 Mavirus, 3 Sansan. News teams. I hate card. Man, I don't like negative agenda point cards. I find them to be so frustrating. Sorry, a big machine is going across the house. There's 1 end the run. So there is actually a magnet. That's cute. And it's 3 post-truth, 3 freedom, 3 fire on the wall, 15 minutes. So if you can deal with every single Sansan, they still have a chance of like just scoring out behind Funhouses. Like no deck deals with Funhouse really well. And like the good counter for Funhouse, like if you're playing Femme Fatale, nobody is because it doesn't make sense in a world with like self-growth. But that's all the tag punishment is just winning fast. That's really neat. That's really quite cool. Sabotage does wonders against this deck. I'd actually be kind of surprised if Sabotage does wonders. Admittedly, Marrow's cool.
Marrow would be great, but also like Sabotage. They're going to be tossing news teams into the like. That's not a huge deal, but like it does make archives a little bit shittier.
Yeah, Hush
to access.
Hush to the rescue. Hush doesn't even do a good enough job, right? Like Hush saves you the tag, but you still have to pay 4 credits to go through this thing, or get your breaker and break for 3. Like it's still a good piece of ice for 5, even if you hush it.
Mhm.
I guess if you're playing Tag Me Funhouse isn't a problem. It is a problem too, though, because it fires the Reality Plus ability. And admittedly, most of their ice does, but yeah, it's like still good, even if you go Tag Me. It's like the Turnpike. And virus is annoying.
No pings either. I was kind of surprised by.
Yeah. It's not a lot of hard end that runs. There's a magnet for the botch list, I reckon. That's neat. That's a really cool deck. I reckon this is actually quite good. That's cool. I love it when you see a new archetype you weren't expecting. This deck doesn't look like if you refuse to access cards and sabotage everything. It doesn't like if you refuse to access cards. If you refuse to access cards and sabotage everything, you will lose. Like, it will score 6 points in one turn.
Yeah, you have to make sure you can trash that remote, but I guess the idea is like, yeah, you don't want to end up with like 5 agenda points, because that is how you lose the game. You want to go from 0 to 7.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't think you need fast break to win. Like, I think it can win with just a Relic Sense and a bunch of these small agendas. But yeah, it's good not to steal agendas. That's true. I do take good note about the lack of Drago. Yeah, it's definitely not a Drago deck. I don't think you would want to put a Drago in here. It doesn't have any tag punishment, so it, like, of course it doesn't, right? But that's cool. It's cool to see that. I think Reality Plus is like one of those cards that we're going to see a balance change around in the near future, whether it's Reality Plus, whether it's Drago. I think Turnpike to some extent can kind of go away. But it's interesting to see how that gets challenged in the near future.
Yeah, I wonder about Turnpike. Like, you know, it's one of those cards that
it's nonsense.
I guess it. Yeah, it feels like just a little. I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's so nonsense. The on encounter is always relevant. Trace 5 is such a ridiculous number. 3 strength is okay.
Yeah, the Trace 5 is ridiculous.
Like, I don't know. It's weird because you compare it to Vasilisa, nobody plays Vasilisa. Vasilisa's text, I think, is like very conditional, and this deck would maybe like it, but not. But like the unconditional tag, it's weird how that doesn't feel as good as Trace 5, but I do think it's like kind of comparable. It's strange. Turnpike should be 3 cost, 1 strength. I do agree. Yeah, I the strength, for what it's worth, I don't think actively matters that much. Like Begalter, yeah, it doesn't matter for MK Ultra, but a lot of times you just botchless this is the cheapest way. But yeah, it's just too cheap for 2. It's just a bit too cheap for 2. Vasilisa is 2. Never mind. I have no grounds to back this up on. Pat, speaking of Reality Plus, good ace. Want to build a startup deck?
What? Yeah, let's build a startup corp deck. Do we have any news tonight?
I don't think so. Do you?
I don't think so.
Turnpike is love. Turnpike is life. Man, Turnpike is it's absurd. Vasilisa is free to break with Buck, which is meh. That's true. Yeah, it's true. It is free to break. Yeah, most centuries are. All right.
Yeah, so we were talking about doing startup NBN because I have not really used the Parhelion NBN Ice much.
A lot of it's really bad, and I don't think we do. But NBN Ice and startup right now is, I think, the best in the format, kind of by a mile. It's like shocking how good the NBN Ice is. Just the mid-range stuff is so taxing. So when we talk about NBN actually has 3 really good identities, which is rare for startup. Most of the identities are in some way kind of, you know, extra. Reality Plus is probably the best. Near Earth Hub is really, really good for asset spams, and Pravdivos is like, it got a fair bit worse, I think, with the rotation because we lost an PD Lockdown, which I think was like my favorite card to build Pravdivos by a mile. Also, NBN did lose some good ice. With the rotation, we lost things like Gold Farmer, which obviously is important. Bologna is obviously important, but I still think Reality Plus has some of the most taxing ice that's really hard to deal with. So let's see what it looks like. What's the card for Parhelion you're expecting to see a bunch and have been surprised not to see played? Oh, good question. Let's just check real quick. Let's take a fast detour. I love questions like this. Also, Gutenberg feels like a bit better for comparison, but Turnpike is for sure overtuned. Yeah, it's weird. Gutenberg was like Trace 7 or Strength 7 or something wild, and
bring back Miramati. Bring back Turing.
Turing, yeah, bring back Turing. Miramati, nobody needs Miramati. Like Afshar is better than Miramati. Okay, cards that we're surprised that people aren't playing. Do you have any ideas?
Well, things I haven't been following Netrunner a lot. I just have not had the brain power lately. Okay. I know I'm just saying that so people pity me. But I guess like I wanted to see Hush more. I thought Hush would be like more, I don't know, kind of devastating against so much of like Null Signal's ice. So much about Null Signal's ice is about like, yeah, it like effects outside of the typical run subroutine.
Yeah. Function. I'm on the edge of Hush being okay. A lot of times when I looked at Hush, I thought you had to install it first and then you had to move it. You don't. You can install it directly, and that's quite nice. I think if Hush sees play, it'll probably see play in like a Shaper deck, and it's not seeing play in like the Pawn Shop World Tree decks, which is kind of interesting. But the ability to get it when and if you need it is probably the most important on this thing, which is like pretty wild. But we're not seeing a lot of it. It definitely does help. There's certain ice that it's good for. I don't know if there's that much ice that where if you Hush it, it's like game losing for one influence, right? Like hushing a border control, it's nice. Hush doesn't beat, like Funhouse is still a taxing ice, even if you hush it. Like it's still something you have to worry about. So I don't know. I'm not that surprised. It does seem like the kind of card that seems nice, but then functionally it's like 47th card or whatever. Banhar, I think, is better than the amount of play it sees, but I think it's a radically different deck, and it's probably not worth pursuing when you have access to Endurance. But if that's a balance change that shows up in the future, if we do see Endurance losing stocks, I think Banhar is actually quite good.
I like that card quite a bit.
Oof. Cards that aren't seeing play.
You know, again, I haven't been following the Parhelion meta much. Have we seen much of this, like, the only breakers are Orca and Endurance, and is running Spark of Inspiration?
No, it's a terrible deck. So okay,
cool.
So we could at some point. How good would Hush be on a Nancy? It's actually not bad, Dagon. How's it going? It like allows you to get through the Nancy. Yeah. It's like, it's all right, and actually allows you to Banhar to the Nancy, which is a problem.
Yeah, it turns Anansi into like a minor taxing ice rather than a killer. So
yeah,
that's great.
And Stick, you're saying feels comparable to Hunting Grounds. It is, and Hunting Grounds is kind of fire and forget, which is nice. But the difference is like Hush turns off, like, sure, Hunting Grounds obviously does deal with the, what's it called as well, the Funhouse, the IP blocks, but this also technically turns off, you know, like Anansi or anything that has text, like border control, which is cool. I have a question. How do you feel about Scrubber as limited card? Good, bad, meh, trap? It really depends on the format and limited. Like if you're playing limited and you find a lot of people are need assets and upgrades to generate their economy assets, then Scrubber is a fair bit better. But it's like if you're playing to decks that have nothing to trash, then obviously it's not good. But it's very dependent. I know I played limited draft formats where like it's had certain types of cards, certain assets had increased trash costs. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, my thing about Spark, I played a Spark criminal deck, and by played I mean recorded some games on this channel. I can show you the deck too, because it's kind of interesting, I guess. It's not a good idea, but like it's so weird because the more you think about it, you realize a bunch of these parts that you think would make sense together make no sense together. So, hey Jai Hush, I think is actually playable in World True Wu as a Jua tech. Oh, Jua is a cool tech card to that.
Okay, so you only have 3 programs and they're all expensive.
So
that's the idea.
Firstly, yeah, with Spark of Inspiration, it's random what you get. That's actually really, really quite bad. But the idea is that you play this, and not only do you save install costs, but you can save draw costs and play costs. So that means that you can't play things like Fermenter, you can't play Chesva, you can't play anything else like Tapworm. You have to play stuff that gets you value from. So we're a Spark of Inspiration deck that can play Amina, which is really, really good in Criminal. You have Orca, which is not that good. And honestly, while the charge on this is cute, it's not that good compared to Bugalter.
No, not at all. Like I just put a Bugalter in.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
And then the Spark is just like, you know, a Bugalter for that's it. Like, what are you charging? Earthrise, I see. Kazi.
Wake's good.
Of course. It's like a solid one. Yeah.
Yeah, Kasi String. Fem might be better. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second because I think Fem's actually really interesting.
I was about to say Fem is. So another interesting thing about this deck is like you've got Spark in Criminal, but Criminal has a card that likes you having expensive cards in your deck, and you're not playing that.
Correct, because it makes no sense.
Okay, yeah.
Like this is the problem. So this is what a Breaker Suite is, and I just want to talk about why Spark is really, really bad. This is a functional deck, right? It also has credit kiting, which means if you brick and draw your expensive stuff, like you're not busted. You can still credit kiting it out, install all your stuff for 1. Maybe this deck also should have a single endurance in it. I don't know. Probably at some point. Probably don't play the Spark. Probably build a different deck. But that's the idea. Is like all parts of this deck are functional, but then we end up spending 11 influence to do the Orca Spark. Like that's not great. As much as the charge targets are cute. Okay, but this is the question, right? Like the other big card that comes out in the set that's meant to work with big stuff is Concerto. And Concerto has really, really specific text. It says reveal the top card of your stack, place credits on this event, and then you draw the card. Now there's so many reasons.
It doesn't work
with... it works in no way. So like...
that's too bad. I didn't even realize that. Yep.
The other thing you consider is like maybe you can play this and then you play like Prognostic Q Loop. So you can use those 9 credits to install the card, but then you realize the card's in your hand. It's not on top of your deck. And then you're thinking like, okay, maybe I can combine this with other stuff. Like, okay, I'm going to do a test run deck, but then you draw your expensive breaker, which is kind of bad too. So like you can test run your breaker to put the breaker on top of your deck. So you can do a Concerto. So the Concerto connects and you have 9 credits. All of it's quite bad. Does it work with Masterwork? Masterwork, you can spend the credits, but it has to be hardware from hand. So like what 9 credit hardware are you installing? Are you doing all of that? Just install your endurance cheaply? Well, you can just credit kiting in Criminal. And the thing is, if you're playing credit kiting, or sorry, if you're playing Test Run and Spark, you probably should be playing Shaper because they're all 3 influence cards. And I think there may be something here when you start running things like Femme Fatale, and then you can also run Rejig to help you move around your big stuff and reposition your Femme, and that might be good. But it's just like so wild how bad, from my testing, Concerto has worked with Spark of Inspiration. None of it works well together. They're all like competing, and then at the end of the day, even if you get a Concerto for 9 credits, what are you doing with it? Like, you don't have your program, it's in your hand, you're not running, and like, it's a mess. It's a real mess, and I was so disappointed that at the end of the day, and I can't emphasize this enough, where's my deck list? Paying 3 credits for a random breaker is awful. It's so bad to be like, I'm gonna rip 3 credits. Oh, it's an Orca. I don't need an Orca. I need a decoder. Like, that is so bad. And maybe you could play like, you know, other hardware to make that cheaper. Like, you can play the prepaid voice pad, but I don't know. The startup
Startup does not
no.
include Uprising.
Yeah, no, all
startup
of Ash is rotated.
Only Midnight Sun, Parhelion, and then System Update and System Gateway, because all of Ash is gone from Startup.
Yeah.
Startup will grow again with the first half of Bell Tower.
Yes.
Like, there will not be a startup rotation then. It will just be adding like 65 or however many cards. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what Bell Tower does.
It's a small suite of cards. I don't think Shapers are playing Basilar Synthclan consistently, and I probably think they should. The thing is, like, Shaper decks right now have just been Woo decks, and some of the Woo decks are playing this, the ones that are like 65 cards plus. Nuka's seeing way more play than I thought it would. She seems good. She seems okay. Stuff that's good that isn't seeing play? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh yeah, I have one thing that I think is really good that's not seeing play. I just don't think it needs to, because the decks don't need to support it. I think Unsmiling Serebna is just wacky. I think that's a really good face check on this entry, and you're going to see it in our startup list, where like that face check is so good. And the fact that you can consistently force parts of the face check to fire is really good when you care about cards in hand, you care about tags, you care about damage if you're playing like Public Trail into End of the Line, which is like very common, I think, in startup. I think this card is a bit better than it sees play, just because unconditional face check is very interesting. As much as 6 credits or 4 credits give 2 is kind of a lot. I think that card's actually quite good.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting.
I think Kimberlite Field, again, in certain formats, is the best agenda no one's going to play if you can do rig destruction consistently, but I don't think anyone really can, and there's better ways to do that. And I think that's largely it. Concerto really wants a Savoir Faire reprint. Yeah, there's like support cards you could print with Concerto to make Concerto really good and consistent. Like, any way to use a lot of money during the run. It's so hard to do that. A lot of the hardware decks with like Prognostic and Prognostic decks, you want to install a lot of cheap stuff, so it doesn't work with Spark anyways. The Masterwork decks have a lot of hardware, which doesn't necessarily combat Spark big programs, but it just means like it's not a better card than Overclock often. Or just having a Chesva and getting 2 credits of value running Essential. It's weird. It's really weird. I think Turnpike is pushing on Smiling out still. Yeah, I think that's the case. It's like 2 credits for Turnpike, really good face check. Why would you play on Smiling? But I do think on Smiling is in a really awkward spot, because it's a very reasonable ice. Hey, Diceborn, I have an op Kimberlite Field Zato Grid Rake Shooter deck in startup. It's been doing pretty decent. Yeah, rake shooting in startup is really fun. And there's no simultaneous. It's good. Yeah. I do agree that Basilar is underplayed, but it doesn't fit in World Tree Woo. Yeah.
Unsmiling Serebna reminds me, actually, if we can go behind the scenes for a bit, usually before we start the stream, we have like a conversation where you pretend to listen to my suggestions for stream titles.
Oh, I listen.
And this time they were... Okay, yeah, okay, cool. All right, moving on.
I don't think enough people know your last name for that joke to work. I don't think people know my last name, right? Like, I don't think we have that well to dive into for content jokes.
Sometimes either of us will say our last names and people assume we're sneezing or coughing.
Exactly. Yeah. But hey,
because,
I've been used to that. Okay, so let's talk about startup corp building. Big thing, 5-3 agendas. There's only one of them. There's only one 5-3 agenda. I love it. That's my favorite part of startup right now, is that there's only send a message, and otherwise you're playing with 4-2, 3-2 agendas, which means agenda densities are higher than normal. So single accesses are actually surprising and fun and exciting, because you're more likely to find an agenda than the 6 and 44.
Ixaran trying desperately. Andre Zo. Damn it, Ixaran. Ixaran nailed it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Basilar with Heartbeat is wild. As much as I don't think it's necessary to play the Heartbeat to deny the core damage, you can just take the core damage. I feel like that makes the Basilar so expensive. It's on the verge of not being worth it, unless you're also playing the what's it called? The Heartbeat for other reasons.
The stream title should have been Unhealthy Sklarevna. Now I can say that now that Ixaran revealed my secret identity.
Your last name though is part of your handle usually, so
Yeah, true.
sometimes.
On Reddit, I go by Sklardicus. Sometimes, also sometimes Scorpy.
Okay. 14 agenda points. We're playing 3 artificial, 3 off-world, tomorrow's headline. We're gonna be pretty jammy in here. We can also play freedom information as quote unquote tag punishment. We really need this to be a 2-2 for it to be good, but there's a lot of ways to build decks in this format where if the runner has 2 tags, they've kind of lost the game. So I'm not actually sure if this is worth pursuing that heavily. Who knows? What else could we play? Like, I don't want to do license acquisition. Post-truth is like sort of makes sense, but it's probably a bit better in asset spam, or I guess we have Sansan. We don't have Arella in this format. We have Vera. That's kind of fun. And we could just play Beal. Like maybe just playing 2 Beals is fine. Do you believe in Beal more or less than you believe in freedom?
I was about to say, I feel like we should go for freedom if we're in Reality Plus.
It's new, right? It's new.
Yeah, it's also new, yeah. Hi, Bloody Cactus. Hi, Bumble J.
Hey, Bumble, how's it going? Good evening. Yo, we played a game today. Good game. So Keegan Lane, unfortunately not in standard. Or in startup, excuse me. Andre Gom something ick. That's exactly, I'm quite sure. Macaroni, that's relatively close. Parts of that are accurate. So well done.
You get 1 green light.
Okay. Cards we want to put in the deck. Last week, I lost really hard to Chekist Scion, and I'm kind of into Chekist Scion modern late because people don't respect this. We want to install advanced consistently anyways, and giving 2 tags is just like really good. This is
Chekist Scion is a very mean one, especially since people are playing Pinhole to go after Drago all the time.
Yeah. I don't know if we have to Drago in this deck. I think we do, because I do think single tag punishment is really important. But this is technically an economy card, Reality Plus, in certain board states. That's really fun.
It's Andre. Yeah, this is basically a product placement, modernly.
It's Andre Metropole, duh. I think you need a package for freedom. I think you do need a package for freedom, and that's kind of the issue right now with startup is there's no mass tag card. Besides, in theory, you do have mutually assured destruction. But so we're just gonna see how it works. I agree that it's probably just a 3-2 for lucky. Can't believe they overtuned Ghost Branch. Yeah, they overtuned a lot of those traps. They're good. I feel like Restream isn't getting through. I'm missing a bunch of messages.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Restream is not going to YouTube chat, but Restream on Twitch is still be working.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I think we lost the Twitch chat. Twitch chat just isn't coming through on Restream.
The people on YouTube, you are not seeing all the great conversations we're having on Twitch.
Bring back Big Brother. Big Brother actually would be very, very playable if it was alive and well right now.
Big Brother was like, if the runner's tagged, give them 2 more tags.
Yeah, exactly. It was tag punishment for 2 more tags, which is really, really relevant. I think we'll start here. We'll see where we go. Now, I want to talk about the Ice Suite, because the Ice Suite in NBN is actually just like really, really, really quite good. Firstly, Funhouse, 3 of. No one deals with this well. No one does, period. You can play Hushes if you want. It's still kind of a taxing ice. People are either playing Buzzsaw. They're playing Buzzsaw, which is a nightmare for this. You pay 4 no matter what, unless you have Turbine and all that. You're either going through this with your, heaven forbid, with your Cat's Cradle. It's a lot of money. Admittedly, we res it for 6. That seems more fair. Or they're going through with the Unity, which in the late game, it's a bit more doable. Yeah, I thought chat was being weird. Chat is definitely being weird. So apologies if I missed your Twitch messages. I'm changing.
So are we doing like Klovetnik and
no?
Serafna?
On Klovetnik, never.
Come on.
This card.
I don't understand like what Klovetnik is meant to.
I don't know. This is a huge question mark. It's like, oh man, this is going to always sound. There's no way to not make this sound offensive. This looks like a card that was built by an AI. Right? Like it has a bunch of words on it that like all make sense and the sentences make sense, but like then you try and understand like what it's doing and that makes no sense. So
hey, these days when you say something looks like it was built by an AI, that's a compliment.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't understand this. When you res a site, you can pay them money. On its own, it's a 3-cost barrier, and 3-cost barriers are like kind of an awkward spot. Well, Tremolo kind of has to pay a bunch of money to get through that. A lot of people are playing Cleaver. They get through this for 1. And if you do that only when it's res, you can blank an installed resource. So what can you blank? Like maybe in a ridiculous case, you can blank. There's no Citadel in startup.
There's no Citadel in startup, yeah.
Like no free lunch is the best thing you can blank. Like, I don't know what we're blanking. There's no daily casts. You can turn off a info bounty for a turn. Like, none of this makes sense.
Daily casts wouldn't even matter. Because they've got the money already, and Klovetnik only works until the end of the corp's next turn.
I'll build it until your next turn. Right. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. Twinning? Yeah, but it matters when they hit this. Like, if they hit this... None of that makes sense to pay the runner 2 credits for that privilege. Backstitching, they just can bypass this if they need to. Like that's, for what it's worth, if you're playing a tech card in your deck to play around backstitching, I feel like we might have lost the plot a bit, but like None of it makes sense. It doesn't make any sense. Even in standard with the bigger card pool, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Turns up costumes during LOL, yeah. I think Klevetnik was designed to counter a card that either got axed or redesigned. I think Klevetnik, and the same way that we see this exact text, runner gains 2 credit on this, on Serevna, and on non-equivalent exchange, has to be some sort of NBN identity or something in the future that cares about when you pay the runner. Like something that's anti or reverse game net. And we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Whenever the runner gains money through a card effect,
you gain twice as much. Like once something like that is printed, yeah, then we're kind of in on it. So right now, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's future design space out of 10. So who knows?
Yeah.
I think it's good. Just saying what technically turns off. Yeah. No, that's true.
It could also be, I don't know, maybe, I'm not saying this because I know, I'm saying that like it could be like certain resources are getting like retuned, or maybe like certain resources will be more powerful in the future with tags being more prevalent. So that's kind of the direction they're going
imagine how buckwild a resource would have to be for you to want to play a really bad ice that you have to pay 2 additional credits, pay 5 credits, or sorry, you don't pay the credits, they gain the credits for 1 turn.
For 1.5 turns.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Also well and good until you blank the black file, and Klevetnik literally wins you the game. Game winning, never doubted. I feel like there's a couple things that are like potentially game winning, but they don't exist anymore. Rachel Beckman. You just tag her. You just play anything. This kills.
Just do just a ping.
All right, other stuff. So we have Mr. Chesfo, which is actually a really decent piece of ice. 4 strength code gate's a nice place to be in startup. It has a good face check. It's kind of comparable to other your mid-range code gates. We can play 1. Advancing this kind of feels bad in Reality Plus. I've been a big fan of this obviously in Proptivos, but also I recorded a video today of playing this in Built to Last, and I like it a lot.
Oh yeah, it's great in Built to Last.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think I like the way they've done NBN's version of a typical Wayland thing, because I feel like Message Capture would be too good in Wayland because it just works so well with Built to Last.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to spend influence on it because it's just a money engine that also really taxes the runner.
Yeah, how you spend your influence in Built to Last is really interesting right now. So this is only 10 ice. We want a couple hits more. Again, we haven't spent any influence yet, so we can kind of figure that out. We also have wraparound, and there's not that much like non-typed stuff that we have to worry about. I think it would be like what AI we're worried about. Mayfly, maybe? Non-equivalent exchange falls into the give the runner credits niche. Yeah, exactly. I think there was the 3 cards. You can turn off Rachel Beckman so the runner can take a tag without trashing her. You can protect her. Okay, let's put all the cards in that we know are core. So we're gonna play 3 hedge fund. We're gonna play planogram for sure. So we want to give them, I think we play 3 public trail. Like this sounds wild, but 3 public trail is really quite good. It's hard. While there's no free lunch that are common, we pay 2 credits for this if it connects, which is very affordable. And then they either take a tag or pay 8. If we pay 4 for them to take 8, I think that's usually a good trade as long as our economy is pretty good. Built to Last startup is really sad without wall to wall. I don't mind it at all. I just don't think you advance your ice because you don't have a lot of good advanceable ice. Okay, so what is our tag punishment? Currently, it's all Wayland stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we're going to do like Vladimirsk. Sorry, shipment from Vladimirsk, maybe.
I don't know if we do. This is another card that needs 2 tags, and you just can't do that in startup.
Well, maybe we've got the.
You can't. You can't.
Scion. We've got the Scion.
No, it's not worth it. This is for hard hitting news. This is a standard card. You can't play this in startup. It's way too hard.
All right. So yes, end of the line, of course.
And then I think we play 1 or 2 retributions. We have spin doctors, or sorry, gaslights, so we can get there.
Is trust operation.
It's 3 influence.
It's 3 influence.
Yeah.
That's too bad. That could be useful.
Yeah. Feels poor right now. Need more econ slots. Oh, looks like Twitch got back onto restream. That's a huge win. I've been impressed by Pharos. Pharos is actually really good, and that's because people don't break barriers well. I do play Pharos, but you don't need to advance Pharos. Like, wall-to-wall it all you want. They'll endurance through it or botchos through parts of it. I don't think the strength actually matters. Drago Vlad. Oh, we haven't played Drago yet. Yeah, we do play Drago for sure. Vlad, I don't know. Oh, because you can do Vlad, and then... That's really cool. They can do that. Amaze Rhino, how's it going? Amaze is tricky.
What's the thing with Vlad? I don't understand.
So you can use Vladisibirsk. It doesn't have to be for agendas, right? So you can.
Oh, true. You can drop it on a Drago, drop it on a Scion. Yeah.
So you can just go like that, which is really cool. But you can just put Drago in there and go, which is really cool. Get rid of one of the end lines and get 2 archive memories in it. Yeah, actually, I think that's a really good idea. As much as we have deck slot problems.
Hey, Sangren, I was saying shipment from Vlad, and Andre's like, "There's no way to put 2 tags on a runner in startup."
Wait, is archive memories? Can you not do it because it's banned?
Well,
Hold on.
it should be okay in startup.
Yeah, I think we have to go to casual.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not good for J. That's ugly.
But if we're doing archive memories, might as well do trust operation. You know what I'm saying?
2x public trail can get you 2 tags. Yeah, but then if we do 2 public trail, then how do we use this, right? Like we have to have an agenda on the table, and then we're spending 3 clicks to save 2 advancements. Like none of it makes sense. Or 4
3
advancements in
clicks
theory.
and 6 to 8 credits. Yeah,
it's
pretty straightforward.
It's rough. Okay, so we don't have enough money. We have 45 cards. That's a problem. How much ice do we need to play? I feel like we have too much of this.
And still 5 influence to spend.
Yeah, I think we want to import. I'm not sure what we want to import. Like, do we just play snares and are like real toxic about it?
Yeah.
Do we just play 49 cards? Do we become what we hate?
49 card, 40 to 40.
Okay, so we clearly have too many assets. No, we clearly have too few ice, that's for sure. So we're gonna have to spend some amount of influence on ice. And luckily, the cool thing with startup is that, like, it's super approachable when looking at the ice list. Okay, that was a bit longer than I thought it'd be, but like not much longer. So like Pharaoh's for 3 influence does give a tag. It's kind of cute. It's not the worst. We can consider it, as much as 7 is a lot of money. Matsukaroka's 3 influence. What the heck? What are you liking in the format? I don't mind this. People don't expect this thing.
That actually is pretty funny in a non-Wayland deck.
Like it's very important to know there's no more simulchip in startup. So if you trash a breaker, it stays trashed largely.
Obviously, I'm gonna say Archer, but we're gonna move right past that.
Yeah, we gotta keep going past that one. I can't believe Archer's 2 influence. That's been a real big boon for you the last couple of years.
We took Wraparound out.
Yeah, I don't think we need it.
I feel like there's so many good AIs in startup.
Like
everyone's running AIs.
Name 2.
Tunnel Vision, Matrushka.
No one's playing Matrushka, are there?
I don't know. I'm just naming.
You're just naming AIs, you know. Okay, Tunnel Vision is really
Nanook.
Tunnel Vision's bad. Nanook doesn't see a lot of play in startup because it's hard to support. Matryoshka, like, we have Retribution. We're not worried about Matryoshka.
How is our economy? Like, is this?
It's bad.
It doesn't look like a rich deck, so maybe we like our next ice can be. I don't
know. I think we're good. I think 12 ice and 44 is like kind of fair. Yeah, I think Mayfly is probably the one you're seeing the most, and maybe Atman, but I think Atman is like kind of niche, considering people want to play the new stuff. Okay, I think this is too expensive. Igor, hey, thanks for playing startup. As a beginner, helps me a lot. Going to sleep now, but we'll watch tomorrow for sure. Good games. Good night. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying startup. I've been enjoying startup a fair bit more than I thought I would, especially with the rotation. Sorry, Patrick, I cut you off though.
I was like, can we go down? Should we go down to 2 public trails? Like, how necessary is it to have like that?
I think it's the most important card.
But it's also like it has an upfront cost that we can't. No, the upfront cost is 4. Sometimes we get it back.
I'm assuming that we only play it if we can get it back.
Sure, I'm just thinking like this is not a rich deck, and that's kind of an expensive card too.
But I'd rather add more money than cut our like very, very, very quick win condition.
Okay, fair.
Right, like third Gaslight makes sense. I think, sorry, a third Regolith, 2 Gaslights probably makes sense. I think at some point we cut just like 1 Chekist. Like it's cute, but we don't need it.
Yeah, that's fair. We're down to 45.
I think this is good. I feel like the freedom we're going to regret, but so be it. We also have no more influence left over, but in theory, all these 4 2s like kind of want seamless. There's something more to it. I love the nesting dolls, but I can't find any justification to play them. I feel you. Like it's so hard to make them work, and then they're so fiddly. And once you get them all together, they're not that much like better than anything else, like just real breakers. But the problem is like they're so fun. So it's kind of like this, you know, push and pull between what you know you should be doing and what you want to do.
Yeah, like I would play them if I had easy access to a prevent a program from being trashed card, but that kind of card would mess up so many other things.
Yeah, the closest you have is no free lunch, but you still have to worry about ice.
Yeah, like there might be a slot to fill in, like a prevent a program that's hosting other programs from being trashed kind of card.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep your daemons which don't exist alive. Keep your progenitors which are rotated out alive.
I'm worried that we're going to have these agendas and we're not going to know what to do with them. Do we just like cut space for seamless launches? Probably not. Like we could probably cut some ice and just put seamless launch in. Seamless is 2 influence. I'm just worried about slots.
I'm worried about going down to so few ice. I mean, I guess we do have some card draw, but
so okay, mathematically, a lot of people are comfortable playing. I'm opening calculator right now. You can't see it on the stream, but most people play 16 to 17 out of 49, right? So that's 32%. So if we want to get 32 of 44, that's only 14 ice. So we're short of that.
yeah, yeah, we're way short of that. Okay.
Yeah, we're a bit short of that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need the gaslights? It's really nice to jam the remote server, but this is only more potent if we have more 3/2s. I think we have to cut these. Because we just need things that we can naked put in the remote server. There's no self-growth program defense other than no free lunch. It's only no free lunch, which is actually still really good. But that's the only like direct tag punishment in the format. There's like networking, but it's not like, what we think. Can we do one meme ice? Depends what it is.
I'm going to pitch dropping public trail again because we have gaslight. Like,
it's our win condition.
We're going to get, okay, fine.
If anything, we can drop like
now that we removed freedom of information, what is our, I guess, end of the line?
Scoring.
Well, now we only have one end of the line.
What are recurring with archive memories? Probably not a lot. It means that we can pull back our retribution or single end of line, but generally you don't play more than one end of line. I think you actually have a good point there. We could just do this. And then end of the line could be like our gaslight pull. That's probably a bit better.
Well, it's better in the sense that it is a 44 card deck.
Ooh, I don't like this Pharaohs. That seems way too expensive. What isn't that expensive, but equally okay? We have 3 influence to work with.
3 influence, super cheap.
Scrub, you have time to get your meme ice in here.
Didn't miss.
We would play 4th Funhouse if we could. The purple tagger? Oh, distributed tracing? I don't think that's necessary when we have public trail. It's like almost just as good. Merely they can't pay their way out of it, but like, yeah, it's weird. If we had extra influence, I think that's not that unreasonable. I do think we want a taxing barrier. What's brand cost? No one deals with brand well.
Is Magnet might be usable?
Yeah, we can drop the Enigma for Magnet. I think that's fair. All right, so we're at 11 ice. It's a bit short, but hopefully we have other punishment.
So basically we traded the 7-cost Pharaohs for a 6-cost Bran. Pharaohs at least gives a tag.
Yeah, you're right, actually. If they face pack into the Pharaohs.
I'm just saying the logic doesn't work out here.
Okay, so let's add like a white space maybe, and then we'll add a Pharaohs back.
And now we've got trust operation influence. Oh, never mind.
No, we don't. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. We're getting too many hands that have like way too many 4/2 agendas and we don't have ice for them. If we had more Chekists, we could just kind of go. Do we not Drago? Do we Chekist instead? Just do 3 Chekists? And we just install advance everything? Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I hope not. But yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's just try 3 Chekists. Let's see how that goes.
Honestly, I do like that. Like that will. But then if we're doing 3 Chekists, might as well put free remuneration back in because we're gonna get.
Oh, you're right. Like, yeah, we'll fix that.
A bunch of tags.
I feel like this is a good way to test like certain things. Like I want to see how good Chekist is because I think Chekist is actually reasonable. So let's try and swing into it. Time for mitosis. Oh, it's like 4 influence. It's a lot of influence mitosis.
Yeah, that's funny. Has anyone here seen Poker Face yet? The Natasha Lyonne series?
No.
I was just thinking like the idea, like the bluffing of Chekist Scion. It's great. It's like it's a detective show without a detective. The only thing I'd say as warning is like the murders, and every episode has a murder. They've all been very sad.
No.
And it's hard to watch the murders. And like sometimes you have a mystery show is like, oh, the murder's kind of fun, and then you figure it out, but like these are all sad murders. You feel bad. And then you have fun with Natasha Lyonne.
I don't know. I have no idea what this is.
Solving them in a dumb way. It's Ryan Johnson's series, the guy who directed Knives Out and Glass Onion.
Okay.
It's not at all like those. Natasha Lyonne plays like just kind of a drifter. She's smart and dumb in equal parts, and she has like a knack for solving crimes. And she just kind of ends up in the wrong place constantly, basically.
If this deck idea takes off, anyone who watches the stream will have a checklist to work from.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
All right. I'd be happy if no one ever played Chekist. I feel like I'm in the same camp, but I feel like there's a lot of players who, not that's exactly me, but focus more on, other parts of the game. They just get frustrated when they lose to traps. Tune in last week.
I know a lot of people who've been watching Columbo so much for the last year. Like the pandemic has really messed with people. But I also think Poker Face is very much trying to be a modern day Columbo in how
The
it's
Columbo was the worst part of the pandemic. Is that what you're trying to say?
just people are like fucking obsessed with Columbo.
Really? It's come back.
The best thing. Okay, Peter Falk did two good things in his life.
Oh boy.
Princess Bride, where he played the grandpa, and Muppets Take Manhattan, where he tells the wacky story to Kermit, and Kermit tells him he's wrong about 100% of everything he just said. Columbo doesn't even rate for me.
I've never seen Columbo, but I've seen clips of Columbo, and it looks really goofy.
Yeah, Schmenders, you get it. I need some fun murders. Come on.
Columbo's the best.
Like it's fun to make. It's fun to do a Columbo. One more thing. But if you want that, then just watch Taking a Pelham 123, where Walter Matthau does it better.
Yo, I'm really behind on most television, but we just finished series 1 of The White Lotus, and I had never heard of the show, and I think it was nominated for a bunch of Emmys, and people really liked it. And damn, it's good.
Is it good? That's cool.
It's so nice. It's really, really well put together, and it's like I would say a dark comedy, but it's not like laugh out loud funny, but it's very, very compelling.
I have upset people to a degree that I did not anticipate.
You've upset.
I have seen
a very old demographic as well that's not represented in the chat, I don't think.
Yeah, your 75-year-old Netrunner players who understand what streaming is. They're yelling at the stream, wondering why I'm not responding to them directly.
Patrick, do you see the co-op Ashes Reborn playthrough on Wednesday? Oh, I heard they're doing like PvE stuff. How's that look?
I haven't seen the playthrough, but I was actually in the playtest for a very early version of it. And I didn't love the PvE. I'm sure they changed it a lot over the course of playtest after I left.
Did you give feedback, or you just like, I'm out?
I'm out. But what I like that they're doing is they're also using that as a way of expanding the PvP game as well. Like every time you buy, they're still doing the thing where when you buy a product, you get a full deck.
Yeah, that's
so you get
a really cool part.
You get a playable deck of cards and also PvE when you buy this product.
So really cool. So it forces everything on everyone. We're playing against Lou. Lou's gonna trash. Oh, cheers. Yeah, cheers. Hey, you too.
Oh, thanks, Napalm.
Andre, you better shut him up before we cancel the stream. Like, I don't have strong opinions. This hand is like Public Trail to end the line is obviously a game-winning play, but we have nothing to put on the table, let alone to ice up. So we're gonna go for that. We have to watch out for, I don't know what Lou is doing, whether it's the mythical Virtuoso Lou. Might just be, again, there's not a lot of console choices, so it's probably Carnivore. And we didn't draw an ice, which I think is something we shouldn't.
And they're doing a 45 card Lou. Like they're doing the thing that we chose not to do.
That's true. I wonder if they missed it or they just went for it.
Draw first for ice?
No.
Okay.
No, you do that, right? That's what our deck is about.
Yeah. I also want, I've seen some Columbo and it's fine.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
I just don't see what everyone cares about. It's fine.
I'm saying is, but Poker Face does a similar thing where the first 10 minutes of this or more are just you watch the sad murder happen.
Oof.
And then the rest of it is oh, and now the protagonist shows up and she, I don't know, accidentally stumbles onto the crime and solves it.
Oh, they ran it. I was thinking they wouldn't, and they did. Immediately, if they trash this, they get a card and a credit, but we'll use the ability. That's 2 tags. We'll gain.
This is fine, yeah. We need to draw.
I don't know. Yeah, we do. There.
They think it's funny. Okay. Actually, this is great.
Che, by the way, says it's my birthday today, so yeah, we have boomers in chat. Firstly, happy birthday. That's really funny. I hope you're having a good one.
Yeah. Just one more thing. Columbo stinks.
Hey, no way. Yeah, I don't know if they knew this is the deck we're building. They can run HQ here, I guess. Again, we have the freedom of information. That'd be sick, unless they steal it. And the line. Oh, no surprise here. So they still have to clear 2 tags. Again, they could clear one and no free lunch. Oh dear. No, it's fine. It's fine. Probably fine. We actually have win conditions here, right? We just can't afford to end the line. Maybe we should have 3 planograms because it's the best thing to go here. But We could give them a tag for 2 credits,
I
and
thought
then
we had 3 planograms.
no, I cut one in a panic.
Uh,
So we are actually just 3 credits short of winning. Because we could do no math. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 1 credit short of winning. Oh no, because this public trail refunds its costs, so it'd be 2. This would be 4. This is 3. So we're 1 credit short.
yeah, yeah.
Pat, if we just
Well,
took credits, we would have won. Unless they have steel.
Drop it. Drop the
No, 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 no,
Scion.
no.
Take
It doesn't
credit.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They only does 4 mediums. What am I talking about? None of this math makes sense.
I think To Pick One is also doing a Columbo thing in chat. They just need 1 more tag. 1 more tag. That's again my Columbo. I'm sorry, William Shatner. You're at the end of the line.
I think we should have put the agenda out and advanced it. Okay, that's bad. Never mind. What happens is to watch it
online you can undo.
Poor man.
Columboomers.
Just a good. Columboomers are the best boomers. What episodes to watch a Columbo really? Any, because they're very loosely connected, but suitable for framing. A Stitch and Crime, Double Shock, any old Port and a Storm are good episodes. Those are really good episode names.
I'm actually going to copy and paste your comment, Xran, just for later. Has anyone seen Confess Fletch? That's a very fun mystery movie. I had a really great time with it. It's a very easy watch.
Oh, is that like them
murder
redoing the Chevy Chase Fletch stuff? Or I'm thinking
yeah, basically. Yeah, no, it's the same character, but I never watched the Chevy Chase version. But
I did.
Like Confess.
It's regrettable. I wish I didn't.
Okay, well, Confess Fletch will I don't know, be a palate cleanser. Yeah, it's great. It's just a purely entertaining movie where I don't know why, but every actor in that movie gets to do a performance that 10% goofier than it needs to be. It like I can't explain it until you've seen it, but every character is like, you don't have to be this weird, but I'm glad you are.
I think I saw the trailer for that and I was like kind of interested. Because I remember the name, I'd be like, there's no way this is the Chevy Chase vehicle they're rebooting.
Yep, sorry.
Okay, this is a terrible ice to draw here.
Our first piece of ice.
That's really bad. They know we have it too, but we have a regolith.
Yeah,
that feels kind of cool, I guess. Do we want to bankrupt them for 4 credits? Is that like a cool thing we can do as a person? Admittedly, probably not, but like we could trash a cook that can't be right. They're gonna input the cookbook though.
Just go for get the 7 credits from the regolith, I think.
Yeah, but then they trash it. There, good enough.
I know what that is.
Yeah, but they also don't know what it is.
That's a good point. I've been trying to bring back Murder, She Wrote. But then of course, we had to.
Xran, you can't spoil the murderer and then expect me to watch the show. That feels like step 1.
Andre, that's the whole thing about Columbo. You watch the murder happen. You know exactly who's done it.
I'm gonna feel so clever watching this. They have an imp, but they found our agenda.
So it's funny. I've seen the Columbo with Shatner, but I've never seen the Columbo with Nimoy.
Yeah, so the stuff guy's actually sick. Hit a public trail, probably feeling pretty good about that. Again, they have to keep 4 cards in hand. Open HQ seems bad again. We probably have 2 ice too few, but we're gonna have to try and cut some of our babies here. Yes, you can. That's the show. That was just like a nice elderly man solving crime in linear order.
He's not. He hasn't always been elderly.
He aged with time.
Oh, I started reading a book recently.
Pat, this deck is terrible.
Andre, I'm trying to tell them about a book I read. You play your terrible yellow deck, okay?
Yeah.
It's by Myrtle Lafferty. I think it's called Extinction Journey. The setup is like a woman who is basically the Murder, She Wrote character, in the sense that everywhere she goes, someone dies and she solves the murder.
Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. I was meant to Retribution first. That's no way to fix that. They had an Anuk, but a really sweet trash to Shistushka. That was a misclick, no joke, but like, I guess that's fine. Oh man, that's terrible. Okay, well, ice up HQ. Sorry, Pat. That was a bit wild. We just trashed 2 Shistushkas.
Yeah. Yeah, the show is not a whodunit, it's a how solve it. Anyway, so Station Eternity is like a woman who kind of determines that she is a danger to other humans, because everywhere she goes, she has a quaint little cozy murder mystery, and she can't help it. So she like steals away on an alien space station where no other humans are allowed to be. and then humans start showing up, and like, of course, there's going to be a murder. She's panicking.
I think I missed a part of this. Is she doing the murders, or they just happen around her, and she's like, "Whoa, that's weird."
I'm not sure yet. I think like the setup is like murders just happen when she's around. She goes to a party, someone at the party dies.
Mm. I feel like we need to
Angela
purge.
Lansbury just got to no. Angela, she went around.
Twist. She has a split
Angela,
personality. Yeah, they're gonna Jekyll and Hyde us. We've been Jekylled and Hyde
I'm not
enough.
saying Angela Lansbury got around. It's by Mur Lafferty. I think it's called Station Eternity.
Patrick, it's happened again.
Wait, have we
Chekist,
gotten them?
an economy card.
Nice. It's working.
It's working. No joke. If we had an archive memories, we still wouldn't be able to get there. But they have to clear the tag, which is kind of nice. Oh man, I wish we had the public trail they didn't imp. That would have been the life. 2 Chekists down. Are we purging? Yeah, I feel like we have to. I don't know what to discard though in this hand. It's like probably a retribution. We have a spin doctor, but I think we definitely want to purge here. It's more the imps than it is the fermenter. I don't care about the fermenter. Don't purge fermenters.
Yeah, the imp is going to be painful to them.
Yeah. How's it going, by the way, Young? It's actually kind of super influential in detective games, which are kind of forced to be how solve it. My family, we enjoy playing Detective City of Angels, the like Van Ryder thing. We think it's really cool.
Yeah, the Nicolas Cage one with Sarah McLachlan.
What? I don't.
Case of the Golden Idol. That's a fun solve in the game.
Yeah, I guess there should be more of that sort of stuff. We were doing also like the Sherlock Holmes, but the Arkham one, and it's like really cool, like really dark. Like I read the finale, like the solution to the first case, and it
like
was
the consulting detective.
Yeah, exactly. And it was actually like a good horror
don't think
reading.
I realized it was interesting.
Yeah, it's like much more focused yet much more unfocused in some ways.
That's good. When I played the original consulting detective, there's so many fun typos.
Oh, it's bad, but it's translated from French.
Yeah, like one of them, like I was playing with a lady friend, and one of the typos was like they went on a carnage ride together, and that just became a thing that we referenced constantly. Like, hey, were we going to take a carnage ride to the grocery store and pick some dinner? So this is not the Baker Street or regulars. This is a new one.
Yeah, it came out last year. It's like Bureau of Investigation. I think that's what it's called. I'm here for Pat's 90s movies references.
Yeah. Oh, Ixaran, so the Shatner episode, I'm going to spoil it. It wasn't a great episode. It hinges on the fact that Shatner's character has purchased basically a rewinder, and it's like a many $1,000 machine that he uses to rewind video, and that's what the whole case hinges on, is his ability to like trick someone into watching something an hour later than they thought.
Oh, whoa, wait. I'm still doing this. Hold on. Slow down. Excuse me. I think we have to do the double public trail. No, this is hard. Chekist is our best card. I guess we have to get our win condition in there. There we go. Someone's just been sitting there 9 credits. Well, they know it's a Stavka, and they don't want to lose their imps. This is Serevna. Like, honestly, Serevna, if they run last click, that can be pretty bad. Yeah, it's not that we need the money, but like it's hard if they know it's a Stavka, right? Just like absolutely drove through that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, this cookbook is actually giving us a headache. Carnage Ride sounds like a good deck name. Yeah, and Marvel Snap. Lady friend Pat, such a giga chat. Lady friend is a really weird term.
I know, I didn't know how to say it. Like, it just felt so weird.
No, I don't like it.
I said it, and I'm like, I regret it, and I hope no one in chat is gonna like comment on that, because I'm just gonna feel like such an asshole. Yeah, we're playing startup.
Yeah, we are playing startup. It's startup brain. Excuse me.
Friend is like overselling it. Really, I was not well liked.
Someone I knew.
Yeah, someone that I used to
Better
know.
version
Me
Lover.
and
Lover
Coach.
is totally fine. I don't know if that's describing Pat's situation, but Lover is like,
Yeah, no,
you
I
can say Lover and
listen.
people be like, okay, that's a bit much, but like,
No, you
you're
can
not
say lever
weird.
and people like shiver with discomfort. At least the way I say it. So me and my lover were playing Sherlock
Ooh.
Holmes Consulting Detective, and we
Ooh.
went on a carnage ride with my lovers.
We have no active game plan, and I think it's mostly ice. Former Paramour is tasteful.
Yeah, I like that. Former Paramore.
How's it going, Helix? Quite exotic. It is a bit. If you're going Carnage Rides
Yeah,
together, there's no question.
fun etymology fact: quite exotic is actually named after the character from Miguel de Cervantes.
Yeah. Don Quixotic.
Don quite exotic. Yeah.
Okay, so they can get through this. Obviously, HQ's loaded. When we res this, we can pay them credits, and then they can only break one of the subroutines. Which one will they break? We'll find out today. When we pay the runner money for running. When we literally bravado them. Do they have breakers? I honestly am a bit doubtful. Do we have economy? Honestly, a bit doubtful. So they can only break one of these. So the 2 net damage, maybe not the worst. Give the runner a tag. That means it's money for us. You want to avoid that one. We can draw 2 cards. Honestly, scary when they're doing an HQ access, but like we can't get worse than 40% agendas, right?
Yeah.
See, literally anything other than they don't need breakers. Fire all. Which one did they break? They broke the net damage. Oh, cool. Their hand is cool. I think we actually need the money. I don't know how we win from this board today. We have Stavka as our ice. Like, that can't be good. Is there ice in the deck? There's like 12.
There's less than we need.
Yeah, there's probably a bit less than we need.
Significantly less than we need.
What are we doing here? Draw cards is like, maybe we have money on the table. We can prevent. Yeah, let's just draw cards. Oh, it can't get worse than 40%. Oh, we could draw cards anyways. Oh, that is so bad. Hold on. No, because we learned information. I forgot that was going to draw cards. Do you mind if I take 2? I don't want 9 cards. That's very kind of them. All right, we're just gonna get the cards off the Reality Plus, and then we drew off of the Serevna. Yeah, I forgot we're gonna get cards anyways. We don't need 9 cards in our hand. They probably clear the tag. The thing is, like, they know there's only 2 public trails in. And yeah, we can maybe win a public trail. They've been like respecting 4 cards in hand, which is super important, which is like, I like, oh, they saw the seamless. I really like things like this that can actually like force cards out of hand. And again, maybe we should just be playing some other damage stuff or going fast enough. That's the problem. If we don't go fast, they can very comfortably always keep 4 cards in hand. Why would you tempt fate? What are we at right now? 3 out of 7? That's more than 40.
Oh no, Spendrix has figured me out. I've been protesting too much about Columbo. The truth is, everything I know about seduction, I've learned from Columbo.
Clearing a tag. They saw a public trail here. So we can retribution though. What can we retribution? Botulus is not a prime target. I feel like we don't do that.
I would like to have more cards that we can actually play.
Yeah, playable cards seems like kind of lit. I think you have to score the agendas to win. Hold on. If we give them a single tag, we have a 3-2 agenda. That's kind of cool. This is so unbelievably bad. Like, score behind a Stavka was our game plan. Like, what world do we live in? And now we're going to discard 3 cards? Do we just retribute the Botulus? No, that seems bad. Hey, babe, just one more thing. I don't know what that means. It's such a bad sentence. Okay, what do we do here?
Hey, lady friend, just one more thing.
I think we have to install behind the Stavka. Like, eat the Stavka. You probably will. All right.
Young Prometheus, we're not going to answer that question. David Hoffman says that he learned all he knew about seduction from the grandpa from Princess Bride. It's pretty good.
Why are we splashing Stavka in a Botulus meta? It's like some people don't face check into. I'm gonna answer it. Some people face check into sentries pretty hard into this format. Ideally, we were meant to go fast enough that this is like an okay res. It's not the most important. Botulus doesn't work really well against it, right? Like that's 2 subroutines. It's actually good against Botulus. It's not good against Boat, but like most of our deck is good against Boat. Like Serevna's good against Boat. Funhouse is good against Boat. Be fine. Public Trail on its own is kind of a tempo trade. Yeah, it's like It's okay. They probably clear the tag, but ideally we like actually retribute something that matters. Like once they install their mimic or whatever.
I mean, if they put down like a, I don't know, another full imp, maybe that's
Yeah, they want more imp.
well,
That's like worth doing. The credits are the problem here.
mm. Yes, I mentioned that in my list of things that Peter Falk's done that I approve of.
Where he did Columbo with that kid
Yeah,
in
he
that
Columboed
movie.
that kid real.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, just one more thing. There's a kissing scene.
Everyone knows a grandpa from Princess Bride. What's the name of the kid from Princess Bride?
Fred Savage.
Yeah, Fred Savage. I really did not like Fred Savage for a long time growing up, and he showed up on that one Fred Savage show that would show up on like free Christian television when I was growing up, and I didn't like that show. Do you know which one it is?
The Wonder Years?
Yeah, I think it was the Wonder
Was that
Years.
on? The Wonder Years was on free Christian television in Ontario.
Yeah. You get it on
Mm,
antenna. Like it was one of the 8 channels you got. And
oh yeah,
they
yeah,
would
yeah.
have like, Seventh Heaven, that sort of like genre of unoffensive,
Hmm.
well, they would have Fresh Prince. That was pretty good. Um,
Hmm.
and I never liked Fred Savage. I found him to be pretty insufferable. And then he grew up and started to like directing comedy and being like a really like a guy I liked his stuff. And it was a big
Yeah,
whiplash,
he
man.
was in like a network comedy that I thought was pretty funny. I think it's called The Grinder.
No idea.
Uh, yeah, him and Rob Lowe. Like it was just one season, but like for a network comedy, just thought it was genuinely funny. Had a good time with it.
It's how generation of young Christians grew up in love with Winnie. Winnie's from the Wonder Years? I don't know if I remember.
Uh, is Winnie Danica Patrick?
I don't know. Liberate's coming down. I feel like our stop guy's holding up. We can do Funhouse the next turn. I wish we had a seamless, but like maybe we can do install advance. Like I don't know how they have 16 credits. That's a problem. But maybe they can deal with this. Obviously the botchless on HQ is like a bit weird, but like with only one imp left, maybe we can push out. So do we
Yeah,
push
and
out the
it's still a
off-world or
three.
I do we do the
It's still a
headline.
three sub ice. Yeah, I think the headline's fun.
And I think we do we white space in front of the Serebna? I don't think so. It makes it a 1 and 3 instead of a 1 and 4. I think we'll just take this.
Should have splashed a big deal. Yeah, Rhino Lake, I gotta agree.
I watched a lot of Boy Meets World as a kid, so Ben had always been my preferred Savage. I'm not sure I know Boy Meets World. It's just splash big deal. Played my first standard at a meetup this week. Borrowed a deck, ran against Nanny Egg. Absolutely brutal intro. Yeah, Dan, that's a really bad intro. And like, if you said, "Hey, this is my first standard game," I don't think someone would choose that deck. So it feels like it was just circumstance. But that's like the difference between like competitive decks, like the people who are there to win, as opposed to people that are there to play maybe fun Netrunner. But standard, it's not like that. Like it can be at top tables, but like there's so much good standard. So I hope that doesn't.
I disagree with the premise that if you tell someone this is your first standard game, they're going to take it easy on you. Because I take it upon myself, as you know, to both be the kind of person who introduces someone to the game and also make sure they understand that I win.
Jared's saying advanced events or AA retribution. I think that's reasonable. It kind of broadcasted. This is really good. They're spending 5 influence for 1 run on the Nanook. Oh, I guess they actually carnivore it, so it's not exactly the case. But they can't really go through the funhouse. There was nothing really on the table to retribute though. Like I wanted to wait for breakers, so I kind of actually expecting them to steal this and then take 2 tags from this, and that would be good for us. Well, yeah, I wish we could retribute the Nanook, let alone the carnivore. Yeah, now we feel bad. I wish we had a seamless. But actually now the Nanook just gets trashed, right? Because it's score or stolen.
It gets removed from the game.
Oh, that's pretty bad. Hold up, is that a carnivore? Yeah, carnivore makes sense in lieu. It's a breaker. Sorry, it's the console that makes sense. You don't have a lot of card draw with DreamNet anymore, so it's technically tempo negative. I think that's the second Nanook we saw. 10 influence. That's a lot of influence.
Yeah, is there much? I mean, yeah, like Steel Skin, of course, works well with Carnivore too. Like there are ways to make it.
Yeah, it's not as bad. I think you'd want to DreamNet. It also means that you don't just have imps. Like you have a relevant ability on any board state, and of course that's why Nanook is being played, because you can just trash the what's it called, the Genesis of stealing it. Does this deck have Stare? No, Helix it doesn't, unfortunately. Our influence went into things like Pharaohs. They were really nice. They were an ag lover. They didn't go easy. Excuse me.
That's a good question, Shay.
How many Richard Garfield games have you played? And what is your favorite besides NR? I honestly don't know how many you've played.
I have to look up.
Played Magic. I've played Artifact. I've played Keyforge. I haven't played like the Blue Moon one. That one always seemed interesting.
So I played Magic, Netrunner, Vampire Eternal Struggle.
They're gonna carnivore that. Oh, they didn't.
King of Tokyo and/or New York.
Oh, they're deciding.
He has one called The Hunger that I've been hearing good things about.
Yeah,
It
the
seems
vampire
kinda
one. People like that one.
Yeah, it seems it feels like kind of a Clank-esque thing, and I like Clank.
I feel like we could just push out the off-world, like install advance. I don't think we do Gaslight in a remote server. We just do install advance. So no matter what, this is good for us. King of Tokyo. I played King of Tokyo. I'm not the biggest fan, but I think it's more of a casual thing. I haven't played the good Robo Rally. I haven't played any Robo Rally, but I know that the older version is the one that's worth playing.
Yeah, I've only ever heard it's like, oh man, yeah, the version 3 or 4 printings ago was really, really good. And every time someone like gets the license, they print a worse version of it.
Yeah.
But that's just what people say. I don't know if that's just like like a meme. It's like a shibboleth of board game snobbery.
Yo, I didn't know Garfield did Vampire the Eternal Struggle. I have a bunch of the 5th edition reprint. Never. And I just haven't had the time to sit down and play it. Valley Public Trail, they'd spend 8 credits, I bet. I don't think they would spend 8 credits. Oh, actually, no, they might, because you're right. They're on 3 cards in hand. If they were not on 4 cards in hand, maybe. But I don't think it matters that much. Sorry, Pat?
Retribution the Carnivore. Just thinking of mean things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, if they installed a breaker. But I think they're just on Nanooks. I just want my Robo Rally signed. Fire all. What's here? Draw 2 cards. Interesting how we don't want that. We've seen our 2 seamlesses, but I don't think we want to draw, especially when we have no agendas in hand. Program robots instead of the execute, rather just watch the mayhem happen. Ooh, they might trash this because there's only 1 credit to trash and they get a card draw. Yeah, that tracked. I want to play the League of Legends board game, which is also like a programming game, and I don't think I've played a lot of programming games to understand like how fun it is, barring like playing the birds and Root, which is like kind of a programming game. Then it is a programming game.
I wouldn't say the birds and Root do the same thing as like Robo Rally.
No.
Like, I think Plaid Hat has a very like kind of kiddie looking Robo Rally-esque game, I think. Plaid Hat.
Oh yeah, that was like published last year. I think I saw that one.
Quirky Circuits or something.
Yeah, they're checking archives. We're just literally scoring out behind a funhouse, and like we laughed about the Stavka, but like it is kind of keeping them in check. But we're on game point. We don't have the 2-1, so we have to actually jam out in the remote server, and we don't have any 3-2s because we cut them for the very good 4-2. No. Oh, sorry. I also thought that was a Chekist. I was equally surprised.
I don't know Facile Ixaran.
There's a couple of video games inspired Robo Rally Facile. Never heard of that too. All right, Botchless here on R&D 2 separate teams. It's a fun house, so we don't really mind. We have good economy. This is what our ice wanted to look like, I think 5 turns ago, and like it's really taxing. Botchless is be damned. They're going through. I think we want to draw here. We want to find the winning agenda. Ping will just be like a problem for them. But in terms of agendas, I don't know how much we have in our deck. I think we have 9, and so far we've seen 4 of them. So there's 5 and 16, basically 1 and 3 if I did our math somewhat correct. Shit. They found it.
All right.
And we have.
Do we put?
Sorry.
Do we have the 2 1s in this one? I
No.
think we took them out, right?
No, we don't have them. We have slot problems as it is. Maybe we should play the archived as just a way. No, I don't know. Seamless is seeming good, but like, yeah, we could in theory public trail into something, but they can clear the tags. We need double public. Oh, Winston Draft is a Garfield thing. Yeah, Winston Draft seems really cool. I tried it once, but again, I think the only time I Winston drafted is when I'm losing at what's it called? Oath. What's that game that we played? Oathbreakers? I think that's the name. The one about like
that you and I played?
Yeah.
Oathbreaker?
No, it's not Oathbreakers, is it? Shit, what's the name? It's the one that was kickstarted. We did a bunch of like streams with it. I don't remember the title. I feel like that's correct though.
World Breakers.
World Breakers, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oathbreakers is something else. Oh, we have the end of line in hand. So we need another public trail.
World Breakers is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Silver Goblin still wants to do like a big event.
Yeah, I know it's relatively soon. Okay, so we don't have the agenda. We have to set up double public trail. We have one more public trail and 14 cards. We do need to keep them out of R&D. We need to keep them out of HQ as well, so we can do Ice, and then we can put something on a remote server. I think we can just do the Spin Doctor. A Gaslight actually would have been a good.
Ping R&D, yeah.
Admittedly, our economy is not great right now, but we have a planogram. Yeah, World Breakers, excuse me. I think Oathbreakers is like a different board game thing. But yeah, I know that I'm getting the update, so I'm excited to get that in person because I'm really bad at it. There's no way around it, and I definitely want to try and win a game at some point in my life.
You better come to the Silver Goblin thing. I feel like the Silver Goblin people kind of want me to be the point man on it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm. It's like I play like 4 other games before I think about playing World Breakers. As much as I liked World Breakers when we played it, I'm gonna have to like remind myself how it goes and be the best World Breakers player in Montreal.
We found the agendas. Spin Doctor, they trashed that for card and credit.
Yeah, Maximilians is probably the one he was talking about. Mondi, yeah, World Breakers has shipped. It's like in the shipyards or the harbors or whatever, just like trapped in boxes. But it's been like trapped there for a while now.
All right, so that's a dead pinhole. They do make a successful run though for public trail, which is nice. Not using spin for a second there. Yeah, we weren't. That was weird, wasn't it? It's weird how that something could just happen where you just kind of discount the rest of the procedure. Cat Orange Whistle. Hey, Rock, how's it going? Good old boat time? I don't think so. I think they're on 3 Nanook. I'd be surprised if they were on Endurance, but I think they're...
Yeah, boat would be really surprising.
I think they're playing 3 Nanook because we've seen their console anyways, right? 9 credits, so we'd have to double public trail. If we double public trail, it's also 9 credits. Oh man, we did it again! But this is actually the first time that we're 1 credit short. Because okay, so this one is 2 credits. Or 4 credits. Then this one's 2 credits. So we're at 6, we're just 1 credit short. Boat is still really good in the startup. It's still very, very good. Game 3. Yeah, I think you're right. We just push the issue regardless. Like if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I feel like those are the only possibilities. Now, if we advance this,
it makes them something to want to run for.
Yeah,
is what's also important. Like we need to.
No, like IRL boat time. Wait, what?
What's boat time?
I don't know what boat time is. What? Huh? It's just Chekist. Doesn't do anything if you leave him alone. All right, they're drawn up. Again, it's hard to get through the funhouse. We can draw 2 game 2, but we were 1 credit short there because we got done public trail, end of line. Now, of course, if they run HQ and trash one of those pieces, like it's a bit ugly. It's still credit dependent, and we have a white space here, which is on 9 credits matters. On 10 credits, they can get through this. I'd be really surprised if they click to 10 and then run through that. Doesn't seem like it makes sense. Well, click her 4 is probably more likely.
It's still going to tax them more than it taxes us, and I think...
yeah, but then we're under 9, so I don't honestly know if we do it.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here.
That being said, if they don't run this, we win. So who cares?
I mean, we never know what's in their hand. Like if they see public trail, are they definitely going to carnivore?
I think so. Like carnivore has an expensive cost, but it also just like draws through your deck, right? Like that's a good ability. Like trading 2 to 1 is bad card draw, but it's not card advantage. But sometimes you just need the next card in your deck. So that ability is like not the worst. 2 clicks left though, so they're running server 2. They really need to do it now, or they're going to float a tag. Which actually, if they can float a tag with 4 cards in hand, we have no punishment because we threw out the retribution like chumps. They have to run this. There's no way they respected Chekist here. Surely they have to know they can get just walking through the remote. Yeah, they can. They know it's a stop kit too. And I don't think we res this. Well, actually, if we get this, we're on 13, so we can actually res this staff guy. We'll be on 9, so we could end up trashing both botulists, which is probably fine.
By the way, it says I'm saying this out loud for myself as much as you. I need to remind myself the end of the line removes the tag.
Yeah, always.
So like, if you have something else to do with the tag, do it before you play end of the line. Just an idea. Just putting that out there in the world. Like getting rid of their liberated before we blast them or something if we're going for a value end of the line.
Are you bringing that up because I messed that up on like turn 3? Or just...
I'm not bringing it up because you messed it up. I'm
Okay.
bringing it up because a friend of mine once
Yeah.
messed it up like about 15 minutes ago, and it just
Yeah.
like it caused me kind of psychic anguish. I
Yeah.
had to like retreat into talking about 90s Nicolas Cage movies. And...
I did misclick.
Hmm.
Of course. I wonder if we just replace the checklist with the maze amusements and build a hell server. I think that makes more sense. And then we just cut out like some of the gaslights or something. And then just put more eyes. Yeah, probably keep one checklist. I think you're right. You gotta spark that fear. So we saw overclocks. We've only seen one so far. They're probably a multiple, considering Nanook is a bit pricey. Actually, it's not that pricey. Mayfly. AI tech. That means they're running last click, which means we'll have a tag and they'll have 3 cards in hand unless something happens here.
Oh, Rohit, hey. Longtime fan, wish I could tune in more these days, but I've started going to a local Thursday night Netrunner meetup after watching you guys play.
Yo,
well,
that's sick.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate. You should just collapse that community completely. Return to us as a viewer. No, but that's really cool. Thanks for saying so. What's your local community, by the way?
Yeah, that's dope. Drago. It's not Drago. Funny thing here, Pat. We can use the stop code to trash the agenda. Defensive ice. Isn't that sick?
That's true. I mean, I've done that in up. It's fair.
Isn't that sick? Okay, so we can't res the stop code because we'll be on 8 credits. I did the math wrong. Yeah, Rohit, that's unfortunate with the timing, but hey, going out in person, you can always watch the VOD after. So I get it, and that's sick. I really miss in-person Netrunner play.
Yeah, but we'll do a weekend event soon, I hope.
They have 2 tags, right? And they only have 1 card in hand. Like, even if they Katurga back Steel Skin, so we could res this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. It brings it, so that brings us to 8, and yeah, I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. Yeah, they have 2 tags they can't clear, so like we don't really need to public trail anymore, so we can spend our money. It's really cool trashing agendas. Yeah, it's
really... They have not used the Mayfly yet, so that might be a... I'm not sure if we go for the Botuluses or...
I think we go for the... Actually. I don't know. I think we do 1-1, but it doesn't matter. This is our winning turn.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah. So 6 strength or 7 strength. It's out of strength, so we can just trash stuff. We'll trash the... It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna clear the viruses. Do a little virus scan. It's the Katurga fire, so it lets them return 1 card. I wonder why they played this.
Could be one of the cards they...
Because this puts them on 3 cards.
Card. I was thinking Katurga shouldn't have been printed because I just didn't want to see more super easy recursion.
They brought a steel skin back. Oh, that's a bit too little. They just need... Well, 1 more card in hand doesn't matter. So that's the thing. They actually like lost a card from hand for that. Hey, good game. It doesn't actually save them there because it does 4. But yeah, it's not like why are they playing Katurga? Because I think that does make sense, but like why that run, right? Like they needed to keep cards in hand. Was it Chekist bait? You'll never know. No, I'm kidding. It was an off-world offense. Gotta win the game somehow. They didn't lose a card replaces itself? No, that's true, but I think they needed to gain cards somehow. I guess there's no real way to do that. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
The Mayfly install is what killed them? Yeah, probably.
This was a cool kickflip. Yeah, admittedly, they did know that they weren't going to use the Mayfly. So if they did that, they'd be on 4 cards in hand. And then like we can spin Doctor back our agendas. So we don't have the Retribution because we're chumps. But we actually could have. Yo, no joke. They were on 2 tags. How soon could we get our agenda that cares about tags? Oh, bottom cards. Bottom 2 and bottom 4. So no good. I really wanted to imp the end of the line. Yeah, oh, for sure. I only have 1. And we drew no ice early. So you're pressure connected. Good. Okay. Pat, we can change this. We can make this better.
Sorry, excuse me.
We just have to dip into the ice that's less than amazing and is like slightly okay.
Yeah, is it time to put Pharos back in? Wait, is Pharos in? I can't remember. I can't remember what happened with Pharos.
Pharos is in. Pharos would have been good. Yeah, Pharos is there. Next game, eh? Mexa. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
they did install an imp and didn't get used
Putting
to
down
it.
an imp and just letting it get purged is painful
Yeah.
for loop for sure. Um,
Thanks for the game though.
mm,
Why not snare? Because we have money issues and influence issues. It's a good card, but like there's so many cards to be like, why not this, right? Hey, choose. Put 3x epoxy in this deck, please. It's like, I don't know. It feels like 16 influence or something. It's like, I think they're 4 a pop or something ridiculous. Man, epoxy is not very good.
see a napalm.
All right, how's startup these days? Loathing, I don't exactly know, but I've been putting an effort into C, and let me tell you, the card pool is really small, so most of the decks are very similar. Like, there's 2 criminal decks. Largely, there's 2 criminal decks. Is Ken still legal, I guess? So it's like you got Steve, and then you got Sable, and Sable's doing more of the Mark stuff. Steve is doing, obviously, HQ stuff, but they're playing, like, the same suite. There's not a lot of surprises. There's some flexibility, I think, when it comes to Corpse. But while there isn't it seems like a breadth of options, it's actually like relatively quality, and barring endurance, I don't think I have any like complaints about anything that feels like too much. Like it's way different than startup before, where there were so many like toxic cards that were just like banned in standard, and they're like, just let them go in startup. Kind of feels good. I miss old startup. I don't miss old startup at all, not even the slightest bit. Well, I miss as. So yeah, I do.
I did have fun with startup at Worlds. Like even though like my corp deck was like, you know, the ban list is a shopping list. Everything goes into the corp deck. Yeah, I don't know. I had fun with that particular meta.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have not played enough of the Parhelion startup meta to really have an opinion on it yet, but I'm hoping to soon.
What about if we add another agenda and just play 49? Are we chumps?
I mean, we just played against Olu, who went up to 45.
Yeah, and it kind of worked, right?
It would be, yeah, I think we'd be honoring our opponent if we did that.
Okay, let's do this, and then we can just play all the Beals. And then we can just play basically 5 more ice. Let's see. And then maybe another econ card. Like I don't know what we cut. 1 gaslight maybe? Don't go to the dark side? Oh no. We're already there. At least 4 ice here. Oh no, now we have to add even more ice. Excuse me.
Well, no, we want to add like 4 ice.
That's not even enough, I think. That puts us at oh yeah, that's
15.
actually
15's a normal number.
Okay, what else are we putting
4
more
ice, and we've got room for one more thing, which is going to be what did we say it was going to be?
We added the mazes already.
We already added the mazes.
So not a lot of options. Next thing you know, 74 card PE. You gotta build your Nova deck. There's a few cards that would be fun with the new cycle, but overall not too shabby. What do you mean this?
And this should also be cheap ice. Like
relatively, yeah. So like I put in pop-ups.
Even a tithe,
Tithes are like reasonable. White space, we can maybe play an Enigma. It's weird to play one of each. I think actually getting barriers in, like Palisade on the remote server is like fine. It's fine.
Yeah. We're up to 16 ice. We can actually maybe drop one if you feel like we could squeeze more econ in somewhere.
I don't know how to. Like, what's it? Name an econ card.
Actually, no. I feel like the econ should be okay.
Name
There's
an econ
enough tags
card.
around.
I finally had Chesworth Paul's Cafe and it's not in startup anymore. Paul's Cafe was so hard in startup though. There was like 2 unique connections. I missed Ganked in startup. Oh, I forgot that was gone. That's probably for the best. Okay, let's play. Yeah, this is fine. I think the white space doesn't make sense. We can just take a hard end the run because we don't have that many of them. The Stavka is a question mark. It obviously performed there, but like probably not the best thing we can do for 2 influence. Did startup feel less cohesive when it was between cycles, Uprising, Midnight Sun, compared to when it became 1 cycle, Midnight Sun, Parhelion? Yes, but not so much because of theme, but more so because the Ashes cycle was designed by other lead designers, and they had other like design ethos and like design priorities back in the day. It's like the earliest null signal stuff. And now, I'm not saying distinctly like it's better or one of it's worse, but it's definitely different. And there's also a lot of cards from Ashes that were just kind of under the power curve, and there's a chance that putting out your first set, you don't want to overdo it and like, you know, make it all bangers all the time because people might think you're pushing things and you get a bit of power creep. So I think there's a mix of that stuff. So I do think it feels much more cohesive, and there's way fewer cards, admittedly a smaller card pool, that you just look at and be like, I'm never playing that, which is, I think, very good for a small card pool.
I definitely agree, and I really like the notion that you can kind of identify the design ethos that changed from
you can tell
from Ashes to Gateway to Midnight Sun and so on.
Yeah, and some of that stuff was just like drip economy, strong 5/3s. All that stuff has kind of gone out of Ashes, and I kind of like that better. For what it's worth, like even things like Tithe used to be okay, but kind of hard to play in startup because everyone had Begalter, and now that's not the case. Like people are breaking this for 2 credits. That makes it a nice ice. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's perfectly taxing,
Yeah.
like a tie that should be.
Yeah.
Was it gonna say?
Let's try this.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think the one thing that might catch up with startup is because the card pool is so small that you might actually run out of like, oh, I want to build a new kind of deck. I want to explore some archetype. I want to do something new, and you'll eventually run out of stuff. But hopefully at that point, either there's new cards, which I think we're going to be seeing more cards more consistently, or you can go play standard where there's a lot more cards.
I remember when,
Oh, we should
like,
make
it
the
was
changes here.
a long time before, like the card, like any Borealis cycle cards were revealed. We saw like hints from June or other Null Signal people about what the set would include, and things included like we're not doing any 5/3s. I think that was what revealed really early, and people were like, "Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. What's that going to be like?" and so on. That's yeah. So I'm yeah. It was just fascinating to see like right from the beginning they established the design goals, and I don't know. I honestly think like Borealis for all its boat, like like I think it's a really cool set. I think it's a really interesting, cohesive
Yeah.
full expansion, and I love the change, like the intelligent changes that were made to the design ethos of the game in it.
The gripe that's kept me back from excited about building for it is Alexa Hoshiko Valston Anarch. I think Anarch right now feels very Anarch, right? Like it doesn't do anything in moderation. And that was kind of, to a lot of people, myself included, the appeal of Val. It was just fundamentals, good value, nothing really splashy, but like just kind of really solid stuff. And there's nothing like that. Like Anarchs are now really weird. Their breaker suite is kind of strange. The fixed strength breakers is good, but clearly has downsides as much as it is more flexible than like Mimic back in the day, or I guess Yogg to some extent. But like multi-axis is weird. There's no like good value over time stuff. It's all like more bursty and situational or like liberated. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's strange.
or yeah, there's econ that you have to kind of earn as well, which I like.
I think 3 Track over Maze and Chekist. I think that would be building the boring deck that everyone's playing. We want to not do that.
Yeah,
Hey.
Keith, it definitely like Raindrops and
yeah,
Banhar are like, those are so
Thanks.
Anarch. I love them so much.
All right, so super important. Oh man, the amount of what's the word I'm thinking of? I want to say polarity. That's not right. But like all these Sable decks, if you just ISO all 3 centrals, they just brick for the first 5 games. Because if they can't make runs through Funhouse efficiently, that's it. Like I feel like too many Sable decks are like 80% cards that are all successful run triggers and then 20% of like breakers and card draw, which I feel like if you can just ISO everything, you're in a bad spot. Oh, that's not a good hand though. So maybe they'll be fine. All right. HQ, it's not diversion of funds. We have to worry about the Waken Plant and the Panweave, and people play those because they play Tremolo, so we can just put this on HQ. This on R&D is taxing. Everything else is not good, though, and eventually we want to push for remote server. But Archives Mark, they got it. That's the only one they can get value from, so that's fine.
But we are going to ice up Archives as soon as possible, I guess.
Oh, yeah, just a Tithe, like anything. Tithe is good enough. Oh, they got the Carpe Diem. I haven't played enough Raindrops Cut Stones. I wonder if it's good enough in Standard. It just feels like so difficult. Obviously, if you're playing Banhar, so be it. But Chesva coming down, that doesn't really help exactly until they get their breakers. No good. That'll do. All right, let's see if we can keep them out. Flatland Summon uses Banhar when they hit envelopment. Yeah, there's a couple cards that are like really bad. Anansi, Envelopment, and Eula are really funny.
Oh, that's true, because like it forces all the subs into one net, right?
Yeah,
but
well,
that's fine. That's peak Anarch.
There's 6 separate net, but you can't end the run, right? There's no end run, so they all have to fire. It's really cool. RDS is fantastic. Jeff, wait, what's RDS?
Raindrops.
Oh, Raindrops Cut Stone. Okay. Poison Vial. That might mean Revolver. Maybe something cuter. This hand is awful. We could consider just doing like a Crypto Crash Amaze and then giving them 2 tags and trading it for 2 cards. Probably not good enough unless we have a piece of ice to put it behind.
Yeah, I'd rather. Well, there we go.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we play slow enough that we can res everything. It's really surprisingly versatile. Yeah, it's not as versatile as Bravado, but like you do face check, so why not? Okay, we have to play around Inside Job. There's no more boomerang. That's a really big thing about the format too. There's also no more class act, but like we need a double ice unless we're like really, really feeling safe. But if we just do like crypto crash, amaze, there's the pan weave. And I'm telling you, they're not going to do anything for a couple turns because we like have to set up. Let's just get a spin doctor and a naked remote. We want economy, ice. I think we might be able to just slow roll this. And this is such a good ice for inside job bait.
Yep. Yeah, that's perfect.
Immediately, we're holding 3 agendas in HQ. Can't be good, especially because we have to empty this
Hope
thing.
to see Banar and Sable. Am I saying it right? I'm saying Banar. I feel like I should recheck the.
No, that's right. It's Tiahya Banhar, if I'm not mistaken.
Hope to see Banhar from Sable. I feel like her replacement click to draw is a good pairing. Yeah, maybe.
I'd be surprised.
I'd sooner put Tunnel Vision in.
I wouldn't. I'd rather play Backstitching in. Tunnel Vision's really not good. It's so expensive that you're better off producing breakers. All right, we could pay them. I think we will. We'll put us down to 3 credits, which means we can still res the ping. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I feel like there's better stuff, and it's really hard to take net damage in Criminal when you have a lot of breakers that you're not pre-installing and they're rare. Like, it's kind of hard. We have a Regolith, yeah, but they have 2 clicks. They might actually contest it. So if we lose the Regolith, we're in a really bad spot. Drawing 2 cards here is nice with the Spin Doctor on the table, but they also could contest it before we can discard. What about the Econ card that gives both Runner and the Court money? Unequivalent exchange or non-equivalent exchange is probably not worth playing. Like, just giving the opponent money is much more important than giving them money for subroutines.
It's an interesting place for NBN to exist because, like, NBN kind of relies on the runner not having money.
Yeah.
For tags and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just an interesting idea. I mean, people did play like Medical Fundraiser.
Yeah, but only in
which is basic.
But only in the decks where like you're doing damage, right? You see, they don't want to take the 2 net damage, right? Like they have breakers, they can't lose. So we're gonna gain 2 off of this. Will we draw 2? Sure. Yeah, sure. Oh, cool. This is their mark, so it is clickless, but this thing is, Beal off the top feels bad. But that is only 1 bullet. Eventually it'll be 2 bullets. I think they can let us draw. Clear the tag, Cleaver's down. They're wide open to Retribution right here. Unfortunately, we drew though, so well, we have the Retribution, but we don't have the Public Trail. I was going to say that, like, I guess we just Regolith and throw out our Carver hand, right? Like we ping R&D, res, use, and so that we can discard 2 agendas. That's fine.
Yeah, we've got the Spin Doctor, not a huge deal.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to throw out the Crypto Crash, I think, and we'll just keep 1 agenda again. They're drawing cards, and we're keeping them out again. Info Bounty doesn't work. Carpe Diem is playable. The what's it called? The Wake is not playable right now. Really, the Zenith is not really playable right now, and it's hard when you're holding all those cards in hand and you're not playing your breakers, and that's why they put them the Cleaver, right? Like they were afraid of losing it to the net damage, especially when they spend influence on this thing. There's a Poison Vial, helps with the Revolver. I think Revolver is good in the format. This is unique. Good to know.
And Persistent, a keyword that we've almost not seen at all since it came out.
Do we install it this turn? Yeah, I think we might as well. And then next turn we can install this, maybe something else. It kind of shows it's an upgrade, but like next turn we're double installing anyways, so of course it is.
Dan, that's something that I'd like to see happen before Bell Tower comes out. Ideally soon, because like we got the Midnight Sun design ethos article like a year before Borealis. I don't. I guess I could just mention that to someone, or probably a null signal person's watching the stream.
If you want to hear design ethos, watch the spoiler video for either not this set, but the set before it on what's it called, on the ShadowNet, because June is there and she talks about what she wants to do with the upcoming set, and whether she nailed that obviously was a bit earlier in design. It's kind of up to you to decide, but it's very fascinating.
Yeah, I still remember. Yeah, I just want to see like those bullet points again, like we got for Borealis. Like, oh, this set will have 3 2 1s. It will have new.
Yeah, those are fun.
A new vehicle. Oh boy.
Okay, our remote server isn't that great because we don't have a funhouse yet. So like right now it's a pop-up into Serevna, which is like totally doable. Now, admittedly, that could be up to 3 tags, which is kind of nice. And we have the punishment in hand. Well, they do have a no free lunch. That is something that's obviously we have to play around. But I feel like we need to keep them out of central. It's like, do we Pharos here? I think we just Pharos the remote server.
Yeah.
It's
that's fair.
unfortunate it'll probably get inside jobbed.
Yeah, I was about to say, but it makes the server look a lot more intimidating than it actually is.
And I think here we need to take the 3 credits, or we can put the amaze on centrals. Maybe the maze on R&D is fine.
I like Amazon R&D.
We're going to regret that at some point, but at least we spend a click. They probably spend 3. It's Chesva, though, so it's cheaper.
I have committed my New Year's resolution was to only regret one thing per stream, and I've already said lady friend. So like I think I'm not gonna even worry about suggesting Amaze on Central.
They lost a pen. They're playing Diesel. I actually think it's really interesting that you can play Steel Skin for the same influence, and then like when you do take damage from cybernetics, you have a chance of it not being awful, which I think is probably worth the 1 credit.
I definitely agree. I would definitely play Steel Skin if you're doing any kind of cybernetic thing, just for the off chance that it works.
Okay,
I
so
mean, when I played Sunny a lot, I put like I've had worse in my Sunny decks as my one of my card draws. Just like
yeah,
kept me alive sometimes.
yeah, it kind of helps, and people don't expect it, which is actually makes it more powerful out of faction. As much as I don't think that is an archetype outside of PE that you're worried about. Carpe Diem, R&D is a mark. It's a ping.
Mhm.
It's a free res. I think that's fine. I cost them a credit for this and then the Serevna, and then we have to res the maze.
Mhm.
I think we'll take the money here. And we do want to draw into a public trail sooner than later. We have 3 and 27. They're also running R&D before they shuffle the Spin Doctor, which means they're accessing with 4 cards out of the game or 4 agenda points out of the game, which is something you want to avoid doing.
That's interesting. Lord Helix, I agree, but the last time I called Andre my gentleman friend, his partner beat me up, so I don't think I can really use that. I'm kidding. Maddie is a well, I'm not gonna say a pacifist.
No further action. Did they break all of it?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, they didn't break all of it. Oh, they did. That does break all of it. Right.
Oh, because they're using poison vial.
Yeah. So there's an amaze here.
Oh, okay.
So when the runner steals an agenda, they take 2 tags. It's not optional. Because none of our agendas have additional cost to steal. So they just did pay 3.
In that case, it was a 2 credit swing in our favor. That's fine.
Yeah, let's say that's fine.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, like I said, New Year's resolution. Can't regret.
Mutual. So we're gonna get what I assume is a Cat's Cradle. There's a Cat's Cradle. Our code gets a bit more expensive. All right, at least we get an off-world office though. Oh, we have a public trail. They saw that. Sick. All right, so we're gonna have to burn through a no free lunch sooner than later. But our servers are almost taxing enough. It's like really good how good the revolver is with the poison vial. Assume they'll run out of poison. Like we've seen 1 poison so far, and then they run out of bullets eventually. But this is actually taxes the revolver the way you want to tax it, which is long subroutines or amount of subroutines more than it is height.
Hey, can I give someone a shout out?
Of course.
This is to Ben Kendrick, my old boss at Screen Rant. I asked him, "Hey, can I use you as a reference again?" He says, "Hey, sorry, no, fuck off." There's been no follow up. So shout out to Ben, great boss, love that guy.
Yeah.
He's watching. Hi Ben, hope things are.
Yeah, Ben was a nice guy. It's good. It's good that he's keeping it up. Demonetized? No. We're 50 seconds out. You can't demonetize
Oh my god.
us.
I can't, I'm sorry. I would know. I was quoting someone. I think you were allowed to like it's parody. It's a parody law, basically.
We do need another piece of ice here because it's just a bullet and some poison. Criminals feeling like criminals. At least that's the hope. So yeah, just a fun house here makes this server unrunnable. Now they did get their info bounty down, which is good. Again, the red teams, all that sort of stuff. It's annoying. Even like running the Enigma with the Cat's Cradle, like it's maybe last click. It's only 1 credit. No steal. Again, we're gonna predict a planogram, or sorry, we're gonna public trail, and then they'll just burn their no free lunch. Maybe they have another one.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
I do want a quick follow up. Ben Kendrick is a public figure, and so maybe I shouldn't say things like he did follow up with saying absolutely. Also, if you want a job right now, I have some openings. So he's still a nice guy.
Nice
do
guy.
not brigade him on my account.
So
brigade him if you want to.
I think we're gonna do this for the card draw. What can we draw into? We have regoliths, we have agendas. We'll draw.
Yeah, we're looking for agendas. Yeah, there we go.
So now they're gonna pop it, which saves us from trashing it. So it actually saves us credits, which is nice. The BL doesn't really combine well with kind of anything else we've got going on here. We're gonna need a lot of money for this. This is 10 credits to res, so it's a fair bit of money. So I think we'll just planogram for 3. And the cool thing is we also still have we only use one public trail. We have a spin doctor to bring it back if we need to. R&D is the mark.
I was about to say, like, I mean, yeah, the planogram is probably the better choice, but so if we advance the Beal once, then on the next turn we can turn it into a 5/3.
Oh yeah, we probably should advance it once. You're right. Yeah, the 5/3. I was thinking like 4/2, that's no good, but yeah, you're right. We can 5/3 it. Red team's coming down. That's expensive. So now if we just keep them out of centrals, they don't make their money back. This is the downside of ping, but I don't know what else we could play here. Like Eli's 3 credits. That seems reasonable. Beals are only like, yeah, pseudo 5/3, like pseudo food, the fair food, if you want to call it that. Again, there's 4 agenda points out of the game, right? Like they definitely need to get this shuffled before they try to win off of R&D. And I don't know if they could tell that there's agendas in here. The way we discarded our hand, maybe it looks like it.
Maybe, like the fact that we did have the spin on the table when we discarded things.
They're not deep diving us this turn. No, they don't think they can. Oh, they can, but not efficiently. Red team HQ though. This is a cheap server to run. Fire all, love it. We hit a reprise. Oh, thank you.
Oh, deep dive. Skip the second click and then go for reprise is kind of a fun idea.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't see another agenda, I guess you can do that. This doesn't cost them a lot to run. Funhouse and HQ, we need to get that on Essential. We haven't seen a wake yet. They're drawing up. They don't have more than 8 credits though, so we can end up retributing a cleaver. That'd be really, really good for us.
Oh yeah, the cleaver would be devastating.
Unfortunately, we don't have it. I think we could just advance this once and then put a Funhouse. Probably R&D. That's where all the agendas are. Now, admittedly, they know they can run this, and it costs bullets though. So this is a bullet and a credit.
I don't know, but we also don't mind that they're getting into HQ.
No, not right now, but eventually we will. If it's like if the mark is on HQ, I think we do. Oh, they have a wake. No, we do care. We do care.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's still ice up R&D though. Like R&D still seems like the better choice for icing this up. That's where almost all the agendas are.
Yeah, but then they get free wake implant, and then they can make one good run through the funhouse, and that's like worth doing. Like if the run through the funhouse is singles, that's bad. So if it's not singles. This is obviously very expensive. We're gonna keep our credits up. If they tread lightly, the remote server heaven forgive us. But we can always just like score this out next turn. I don't know if we can push a 5/3. Yeah, HQ is the mark. I think we got maybe the right play there. And just the enigma here. It's really funny. They actually probably should red team archives, right? Maybe they want to wait for their mark. But last click, this is not that expensive.
Yeah, cost them 2. They get 3 back.
They haven't shown a penny shaver yet. Not running. Okay, throwing on Earthrise. All right. We could do seamless jam. I think we're just gonna do advance. It puts us on 9 credits, which is not a great spot to be. But I don't think we can seamless this. It's really not great that we're gonna have to score 4 agendas because we didn't plan for that. Be able to be a 5/3. I feel like that's probably gonna mistake. R&D is the mark. Yep. Oh shit. That's their console. And they have a sneak door. Whoops. This is my only gripe. We have to retribution this. So if we top deck a public trail, we're fine.
Yeah, or we can if we can put down the spin doctor, the other spin doctor, and get that to draw a public trail. Like
this is not a sneak door run. This is a regular run. We have to keep that in mind.
All right. So
wait, they can't break this. Oh, they can endurance it? They're gonna endurance an enigma? Like they can break this. They're just like short. They'll lose a click. This can't be correct. Oh, they endurance the enigma. Whoa.
Love it. Okay. Spin.
So kind of want to put a public trail back in. We have another spin though if they don't trash that with the sneak door. Coffee, yeah, coffee doesn't get them there though because they have to get to strength and break 1. So with the 2 coffee credits, they only can break the end of the run, so they lose a click. Like yeah, they can get through it, but they'll lose a click, which seems maybe that's comparable to clicking for credit. There's a sneak door, so we don't want to hit the off-world or the spin. Spin would be really bad actually. It means we have no more spins.
All right, let's shuffle our hand in a very conspicuous way so that they only go for the retribution.
Yeah. Shit, that's so bad. Whoa, they didn't trash it. Never mind, we're fine.
Because they didn't. Why didn't they trash it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Install. Look for public trail.
I think we start there,
desperately.
yeah. Because if we sink the ship, they actually go over to MU, so I don't know what they take down. Probably has to be the sneak door.
Oh, that'd be delightful. Yeah. Come on.
Nothing.
Come
That's
on.
fine.
Fuck.
We don't have a lot of money, so we're gonna have to predictive. So we'll just get this where it's safer, and then predictive for 3. Again, they can sneak door all they want to some extent. They get wake charges, which is not good. I'm not actually sure how Sable works with archives and sneak door.
I can't remember. I think I was asked that. Someone asked me that at the last time I was at Silver Goblin. I'm like,
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We're gonna find out. Oh, actually, no, we're not gonna find out because they're gonna red team.
Sneak door is one of those things that just like, kind of like spelling the word restaurant or can. I always doubt myself about what the actual proper interpretation is.
Yo, Enigma real taxing. Even with the Chesva, like it's 3 cards with the Chesva. Oh, we got to get this off-rolled off. That's the money we need. They also ran this turn. They didn't sneak door, but again, if we had an agenda, it'd probably go in server 1. So I don't think sneak dooring is that surprising. And they have 8 credits though. But yeah, let's just get it. Now we just need to push anything in the remote server. Install advance, and then they go through it, have to deal with the maze, have to deal with the Pharos, which probably gives them a tag. The Serevna we can afford. Yeah, it seems okay. This seems fine.
It's feeling good.
If they steal this, we're a bit upset, but
it's not. Yeah, but I'm okay with them kind of just spending their resources on the Enigma. Honestly.
Yeah. Funhouse, nice.
And there we go. That's fine.
They're charging at the wake again. There's a Funhouse there. They could lock the top, but if we keep this Crypto Crash, we have enough to win in hand. Deck feels like a well-oiled machine. I think we're a bit far away from that, but not the worst.
I am positive Lord Helix is referring to our opponent's deck.
Yeah,
which is a well-oiled machine that is just not hitting the cards to wall.
Shit, I forgot we paid 6 for that. I don't think that changes the math that much.
Oh yeah, we did. It's probably still fine.
Yeah. Oh, no relunch. Okay, that's obviously very good for them.
Well, I mean, install advance.
I don't think so. I think we just do the tomorrow headline and then credit. Because if they run through it, they have to deal with all of this nonsense.
Yep.
Like it's a 3 tag thing.
Credit.
It's funny. Like this might actually, if we had the 4-2 that reduces, might actually be a better winning line. Next turn at least. So what is this? Pharos unsmiling? Okay. Unfortunately, this is 7. This is neutral. It doesn't gain us money. And then that's 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Resing a Pharos to get boated. I think we have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, actually, because then we don't have money to do anything.
I think do it. Just absolutely do it.
I don't think that's right.
Absolutely, 100% do it.
Do you think they break all the subs, or do you think they take a tag? Because otherwise, there's a 4 tag play if they don't use their full boat on this.
I think they take a tag. They forget they have no free lunch. We retribute the boat.
Taking the tag here would be so good for us. Okay. Oh.
They've also got the A maze. They've also got the There's going to be so many tags.
We need the money. All right, pop up for 1 because of the attacks from the Cat's Cradle. It's Code Gate. It's a cool mix of cheap ice and big ice. All right, they broke it. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, right? So this is Serevna.
Right, because this gives them money.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do that.
Yeah, just make them work.
We pay 4, and then they have to boost the strength, which is 2 credits.
Well, they also. I'm trying to think, because like they can so easily get through all 3.
I don't know if we res this one. Like we can give them 2 credits that puts them on 8. That's more money to clear all the tags. Now from this, I don't know what they do. They probably don't want to take another tag.
Yeah, actually, I guess we do not.
I don't think we res this. It seems way too expensive because we need to be able to push next turn. Now when they access here, like this is 4 tags. Like it's ridiculous. And we need to remember to pay 1 for that. Like this seems like oops tag me. Like I don't think they clear all these tags, which means we can sink the boat, which sinks their MU. It means the remote server is not that good. Well, actually, without the boat, the remote server is pretty good.
Do we have a retribution in the bin that maybe we want to shuffle in before we draw our first card?
We're holding it.
Oh, we only got the 1 retribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, we built our own.
Yeah.
We have hard-hitting news at home.
Shipment from Vladislavsk. Let's go. They have 4 tags here, not what they're expecting. But yeah, Maze is kind of difficult to deal with. Now, the fact that they didn't trash it to some extent, like, means they have to commit to tag me if we push next turn. But like, they have a loaded wake. Like, they can just like smash R&D here and not care about the fun houses. And like, it's very hard for us to win from our hand. Like, this is where you want end of line, archived end of line. But it's kind of ridiculous to see them on 4 tags. Maybe with the mazes, we should believe in ourselves a bit more. But like, this only happens when you're on game point usually. Just when I was going to go brigading, you're taking back.
It's around. You're 15 minutes behind. Come on.
Docklands. All right, install one more card. Cat's Cradle for 1 after Chesva. They see 2 cards here: Retribution and a line.
That's fine.
I hate to see it.
We're just letting them know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. But like, funny enough, if this was the Freedom or whatever it's called, the Truth, or I don't know what it's called. Yeah, now they're gonna flush R&D. We would win here. I think they're gonna full tag me, and it's actually the worst thing for us because we don't have a way to close the game off a single tag. Do we trash the Retribution or we trash the Cleaver? Or sorry, the Endurance or Cleaver? I think we trash the Endurance first.
Yeah, we trash the Endurance first.
We have to do an influence count.
Wake Implant is also a tempting target.
They're gonna empty it here, and if we trash the boat, I don't know, maybe spinning back for density. Yeah, we probably do.
I kind of like that.
Maybe we don't because it's our last spin, and we need to like spin back to the end of the line or the Retribution. I think we have 1 Retribution. Let me just check. Let's see what they're gonna do with the Sereb now. I'm just gonna check the deck builder real quick. I'm gonna do a swear. This is not loading quickly. We have 2 Retribution, so we have another. So we don't have to shuffle this one back in. Shoot, poison. Fire all. Oh, fire all? Well, which ones didn't you break? The tag one, right? Sorry. Yeah, they didn't take the tag. That tracks. So they can see up to 4 cards.
Okay, then.
We forgot to shuffle, but it turned out okay. All right, I still think we lose from this point. If we shuffle now, what can we put back in?
They have 0 credits.
Yeah.
And we're about to trash their most important breaker. Like,
and I think we end of the line them. It's just like we also have 0 credits.
I think that's kind of fine.
Let's start here, because if they trash the Sneak Door, we're in an okay spot. But yeah, now they're 2 MU over. So it's probably the Sneak Door. If the Sneak Door is trashed, well, HQ is still not defensible. So we'd have to put something in their remote server. So we could put a Regolith. I think we're going to get Sneak Door at some point. But here they have to decide. It's the Sneak Door. Okay, that tracks. It doesn't tell you in the chat log, which is weird. I don't know how we win from here, man.
So I think that we could just install Advanced Crypto Crash, right?
Oh, you're right. Oh, they're using the no free lunch to game 3. Okay, cool.
Huh.
Do we install Advance? We could shuffle back in 2
win.
Seamless. I think that's the only way we win, yeah.
Because our cards in that server, like, yeah, I think...
the thing is, like, if they have 1 inside job, we lose. And I'm worried that they have 1 inside job.
No criminal has ever had inside job. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this play.
Well, one of us is not going to have any regrets.
Could have shuffled the Seamless? Yeah, shuffling the Seamless was fine. I think that would actually be good. We should have shuffled anyways, but putting this 2 Seamlesses in is the way we win. Either that or like we could have done end of the line, shuffle, end of the line. And then we force them. But it's a 1 in 16, right? Have we seen any inside job? No, we haven't. But like, that means there should be one, right? Or is that what the reprises are? It just is not good that so much of our ice doesn't matter when they go tag me and we don't have a clean way to close the game out. Again, this could have been the 4-2. They're going HQ as a start. That's fine. We can't afford this. We need to make sure we keep at least 1 credit. Or sorry, 3 credits.
Well, we are quite happy about this.
Do we want to shuffle given the number of non-known agendas into R&D? Yeah, Colin, we should have before.
Fire all subroutines, like.
Okay, so they're just going to charge the wake. No, this means they'll try and win off of R&D. End of line Funhouse. That's a Docklands Pass. That's only first time return. Not that we have anything in HQ. Can they not just run this? It's only 5 credits. Why do we think Ferris is that good?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they started the turn with 0 credits.
No, they started with 3.
Well, okay, they trashed the no free. Like, they did not have the resources to try it.
I think they did. 13 more cards for the grinder. Yeah, eventually we'll get them down.
Yes, sir. We knew that like the top 2 cards are not agendas.
Yeah, we don't want to shuffle here if they run R&D with Wake. Because the next 2 in R&D aren't it. And they probably don't have inside job if they're grinding themselves into the tithe. So here they only see 4 cards. They only see 2 new cards. So drawing is bad.
Scary.
So shuffling doesn't make sense because we have guaranteed 2 bad cards as opposed to adding 2 non-agenda cards. But yeah, we could just lose here. There's no more Bologna. Like you can make these.
And we have to not draw from Serevna as well.
Fire all. No. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. GG.
GG.
I don't think we have strong enough punishment. If you go tag me. Yeah, we'd have to also break the cleaver. If we broke the cleaver as well, we'd be in a bad spot. So what was coming up? A retribution was at the bottom, so that was not great. And there's only 3 more agendas there in 15 cards, so I think that was okay. They're only seeing 2 new cards, and one of them was agenda, which is unlikely. No second in the line? Nah. If you mark HQ and sneak through archives, it should refund your click. But if you mark archives and sneak that, what happens? Yeah, they played their outs for sure. Actually, I think their outs to some extent like are run this remote server. Like this has to be an agenda, right? I do think that's your next best out for sure. Like none of this ice actually matters. Thanks for the game. But like, say you start on 5 credits. R plus that was Drago. Yeah, we're not Dragoing this. Drago obviously would allow us to deliver. So, like if we Dragoed, we could have actually taken down their breakers. Like if we Drago, the game is like, oh, you didn't run? Here, I'm going to trash your retribution. I'm going to trash your cleaver. And that's a more proactive way to win than this for sure. So I do think that the Drago is probably better than the maze. 2 and 13. Thank you, 18 point ID. We're not. We're playing 49, so we actually have 20. Yeah. So, okay. So if they start a 3, right, they can do credit. They're on 6. They run this. They do boost, break. Then they break the pop-up window. We didn't res this last turn. In terms of the stuff that ends the run, like, yeah, there's a bit of it, but we only had 4. Oh no, we wouldn't have got the tag on Pharaoh. So we'd have had more money. So maybe you risk that being an agenda, but it's hard. I don't know. I think there's a possibility you could check that. And maybe if that doesn't work out of credit, so it locks you out of R&D, maybe seeing 2 off the top of R&D is better. All right, Pat, do we want to just like heel turn and put the Dragos in it? Play one more?
Oof. I don't know.
Too late?
I mean, sorry. Personally, I think I might have to exit the stream tonight.
I respect that.
Just to, rest my poor aching body. This unhealthy Skorevna needs her beauty rest.
Yeah, get some sleep, man. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're feeling better.
Of course. Happy to see everybody, and I'll talk to you all really soon.
Cool.
Sooner than you might think. Bye, everybody.
Take care, dude. All right, so I'm going to mute Pat on comms. Hold on. We can fix this. We can do this. So I'm going to get rid of this, move this out of there, and hey, it's okay. Let's do one more game. Bye, gentleman friend. What was in the remote server? It was an agenda. It was a 4-2. It was the crypto crash. Unfortunately, we didn't have the whatever, the one that reduces its cost by tags, which kind of is what we need in that board state. So the way that I see it, right, like I do think with a maze, you actually can build situations where runners just can't clear the tags. And I think for doing that, we probably should just like change our deck and build into that. Does anybody know what the name of that card is? It's not post-truth dividend. That's a 2-1, right? No. So what's the tag one called? Does anyone know what the tag one's called? I actually don't know the name off by hand. Not shipment. Oh, freedom information. Thank you. Shipment from Vlad, I don't believe in because I don't think we can consistently give. Oh, maybe we should. Is shipment from Vlad better than a win condition than retribution? I don't honestly think so. Chrissy, how's it going? Okay, talk about our ice. Our money was like kind of tough. I think we can drop the Chekist. We probably should play some amount of Dragos, unfortunately. We just have single tag punishment that is relevant. So we can do that. What else are we cutting though? I don't know. Talked about if they go tag me, we fold. I know exactly. That's kind of the idea. It's just like really ugly to draw at any other points, and we're not like considering that. Let's do something like this. Maybe we can cut a tithe. 15 ice now. What are we cutting here? Probably in a maze. I just like the maze. Like I like the maze setup to see how it goes. Like this seems really good. Nobody can deal with this in startup. Like taking mass tags, there's like no card that clears it. It's not like we have a misdirection standard. Predictive has been really good. Like low-key, predictive has been a good enough economy card in the deck. And it's also really good if they go tag me, this allows us to draw into our win conditions. Like if they go tag me, drawing 3 and gaining 3 is exactly what you need to set up freedom. Psychobeal, I don't think in a world of Psychobeal, you do Psychobeal when you have Shipment from Vlad. I feel like Shipment from Vlad is just straight up better than Psychobeal. Right? Like this is just a better card than Psychographics, I think. Because 1 tag doesn't matter. And then 2 tags, this is 4 advancements. And like getting situations where they have 12 tags and we have 12 credits and a Beal in hand is super unlikely, but just getting whatever is in our hand out of our hand makes more sense to me. I'm not here. Hey, Pat. Hey, Andre, how's the evening going? It's going good. We had Pat for the stream. He's in chat, but he's feeling a bit under the weather and the stream is going late. I think I wanted to do one more, but we just have to cut a card. We're playing Startup. And I think Startup NBN is actually quite reasonable. Let's cut the Palisade. We're never happy to res the Palisade. Why no big taxing ice, Mest, and Tollbooth? I think if you want to do one of those, you just pick one of them. I don't think you can play both of them. Our big taxing ice is Funhouse and a Pharaohs. I think those are very taxing. I don't like Mest and Chestvo when you can play Tollbooth. Admittedly, one of them is weaker to Botulus, but it's hard to do both. We just don't have the money for it. And I don't know what to do to get the money for it. But like admittedly, Pharaohs is taxing. And I do think Funhouse is incredibly taxing. Let's go. Startup could use some ice that is turned on by tags like Hydra. Yeah, maybe. I do think the NBN ice suite is actually one of the best ice suites in all of Startup. So I don't actually know if it needs a push. It's really, really good stuff. Like if you're advancing Mest and Chestvo somehow, ideally, you're not paying for it. Absurd. Funhouse is just really, really quite good. Ping is just good. It's really good. Serebna is actually a really difficult face check on some board states because people have to respect their hands, but it's been a bit pricey. I do think we can cut the Serebnas and maybe just play Vasilisas. I think playing Vasilisas is actually kind of reasonable with our deck. Yeah, let's make that change, actually. I don't know if we change this while it's locked in. Do you know if you have a locked in JNet game and then you change this, does it actually update the deck? Because this is just about as expensive to break as anything else, as the Vasilisas. Let's try it. I'm not used to just putting Tollbooth in everything. Oh, you're used to putting Tollbooth in everything? Not every deck can afford it. But our average ice cost is actually relatively high compared to normal startup deck, I think, because we have a lot of 5s and 4s. So it's hard to put an 8 in there as well. All right, we're gonna see a boat. Let's sink a boat, hopefully. Padma's really good. A lot of good charge cards. Not that you need more than boat. Hold on, I don't need these anymore. But you're seeing Wake Implant. Those are really good. Snuka is like good enough too. Opening hand, we have the Tithe. We need to put something good enough on R&D so Padma can't just like bounce off of it. This hand's like okay. It's not great. All right, that's fine. I think a Funhouse on R&D is exactly what we want. We're gonna need to get a Regolith behind something, but like a Tithe on HQ is like just good enough, and then we can put a Ping later and go from there. Do a Ping into a Regolith. Five Pharaohs. What's our other Vasil targets? Agendas. Just agendas. But on its own, like, it's fine. It's a good face check. It's good enough face check. It's like just about as taxing as Vasilisa, and it's half the price. But largely just agendas. That'll be fine. And yeah, maybe we advance the Ferris, but I don't think we'd pay credit for that privilege. All right, get this on R&D. Unfortunately, this is actually bad on R&D, right? Because they can just bounce off of it. I forgot. They can just bounce up. It doesn't have to be a successful run. Yeah, Padma can just bounce up fun top. Yeah, you don't want to have your end runs on the outside. So maybe that's why we should have put a Funhouse there and then put something behind it, because they're definitely going to want to run R&D, and now we're going to have a Funhouse on the outermost. So I think we did probably do that wrong. And I think that's actually worth fixing. Actually. Sorry. Oh, too late. Never mind. I think we would consider fixing that because there's not a lot of charge targets on turn 1. That's a regolith. They trash that. I think we're happy with it. Yo, my braces are squeaking and it's driving me wild. Such an unpleasant sound. All right, now it's hard for them to get their economy up. Creative commission is the only way that they can get out of there. Time bomb, cool. Technically a charge target. Running last click into this could give a tag. Like this could just be game over. If this gave a tag, because then we could just have the tag punishment in hand. We'll res the Tithe. It's free. Got a cleaver. Seems good. They charged their time bomb. I don't think time bomb's a great charge target because it just happened. Nice, Beal. It just happens sooner. And that's not always the most important. Like timing your time bomb is actually kind of nice. So we could public trail trash Nuka. That's kind of expensive. But we public trail, we draw 2. So we have a 1 in 41. We could retribution the time bomb. How spiteful are we gonna? Let's just be spiteful. Hey, Floofy, how's it going? So here we can draw 2 off of this. I think we will. No, actually we need the money because we're gonna trash this. This is a bit of a mess of a turn. So this doesn't fire next turn. It fires to turn next. But now they have a clear tag. I feel like we're both kind of scraping at the bottom. Probably not worth it. I realized if we went for the draw option, we couldn't afford really much anything. When this goes off, we can rip the Seamless from hand and then 2 from R&D. Maybe we'll be fine. Okay, that could draw 3. Here, I think we just want to empty this. We can throw out the Planogram and the Seamless. We can do 1 unknown. This is a lot of influence. I do think the way we use the public trail was probably incorrect. Now this is card draw. YOLO. Second Beal, punished. Pat video incoming? I don't know what you mean. They're checking it, just going for that. That paid off. Again, it was only seeing 2 cards there. We might have wanted to go 1 more from hand, but it looks like it was the top one. That was the Beal, so it didn't actually matter. Critic commission, they're back in it. Oh man, this is really not good for us. I think we have to just push this. I wish we had the Seamless to some extent, but like maybe we can draw 3, but we have to do like Funhouse. I hope they respect it. Off-world office advance. I feel like we can't do that this turn. Let's draw 3. Oh, I hate this. This has gotten worse. Should call the time bomb a torpedo for theme flavoring. C mine. All right, now if we're doing this, we don't really have remote play. This is really ugly. I wish we kept, like if we kept our public trail, we'd actually have plays. Like we could have won this turn. So yeah, keep your public trail. You'd win on turn 4. Because our opponent is not really respecting credit differentials. They're just kind of going ham. I respect that. But yeah, here we have the combo. So we just need to draw into one of our 2 public trails. While they've made a successful run, have fewer than 8 credits and fewer than 4 cards in hand. Who knows? Depth charge, that's the good one. Gotta retribute something. Endurance comes down, all their credits. It has 4 power counters on it. They can technically sail through the Tithe all they want. Now the question is, can they find 2 agendas before we can find a public trail? Honestly, maybe. The Funhouse, though, is relatively taxing. We'll be able to pay 5 for it. Just credit, okay. They didn't run. A maze. I think we put the maze on HQ, like no joke. Let's draw 3. We want to find a spin doctor. We found a public trail, okay. So we can put the maze on HQ. I think we just hedge fund here. And now if they step out of line, we have the punishment in hand. Why click for a credit instead of a regolith? Did we? Because if we did, yeah, that's bad. We forgot we had the regolith. All right, it's a Funhouse. Okay, so this can end up with 3 tags. Immediately they put some on game point. They're going through. Whoa. Draw 2, gain 2. Let's hide the agendas a bit. Just super aggro. A maze. Admittedly, the overclock credits go into this. They could actually not use the boat and use the overclock credits, which might have been better on the Funhouse. Because they're going to lose credits here. It's probably fine. They have 2 clicks. Like they can just drop to 4 and they'll be fine. But they don't shake the tag. We need a retribution for that to be a huge problem. Oh yeah, that's it. So they didn't draw to 4. I think drawing to 4 is way more important than anything else. Because here we can just give them the tag and then just take their hand. The submarine's here to be hit by depth charge like Thule. Let's draw 2. So in theory, we could retribution. They have 1 tag. That'll be it. Good game. Yeah, you really have to respect public trail, that's for sure. Like running with 4 cards in hand, less than 4 cards in hand is super dangerous. If they drew 2, they would be fine there. Yeah, you're very aggressive. I liked your aggressive running. And like they were close enough to winning, right? Like we drew a lot. I think we drew way more agendas than we would have expected. Like we went through what is it, 15 cards, and we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, like wow. We saw 6 agendas and 15 cards. 14 cards? No, that's not right, is it? No, 24 cards. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah, for what it's worth, I don't know if Time Bomb is actually really worth playing in Padma. It's like not much better than a Maker's Eye. It gives us options to control it, and like getting it off faster is not akin to like getting more charge than endurance. Like the Time Bomb is going to go off. Making it go off on turn 2 or turn 3 doesn't have a huge impact on the game. So I'm not a big fan of a Time Bomb as like a charge counter. Unless you have nothing else to charge, I guess. But 3 influence, right? Seems fun though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about at least in Shaper. It's a lot of influence. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the thing. It's like a lot of the time the charge targets are just for longevity and for value as opposed to speed. Time Bomb is the only like speed-based power counter card, which is really weird. The fact that it ticks up instead of ticks down also has to be said as strange, but of course it makes sense. I feel like if you could summon stack them, it'd be really fun. They're unique. You can, right? Like it's probably better to do an Anarch where you get a Time Bomb off and then you just Stushka in the same turn and then like take core damage with Essa. Like that's the thing to do, right? That's funny. You don't need breakers though. You boat. Yeah, they know. I think 3x Time Bomb would be really toxic in the right deck. Yeah, I think like the Sabotage startup decks are playing 3x Time Bomb just because there's not a lot of multi-axis in Anarch, and that's like the best multi-axis you have, barring Finality and Gut to some extent. Thanks for the game, eh? You can charge it so much to Time Bomb 3 turns in a row, maybe, but that's a lot of charging. It's like not possible. Like, okay, imagine that you had a Time Bomb and you installed it and then you did like Stone Ship that were just chilling there and it popped immediately. Like, cool. But also, could you just Maker's Eye? Yeah, you could just Maker's Eye, I reckon. It's like kind of comparable. In fact, probably worse than Maker's Eye. And the thing is, like, we didn't have to go off the top of R&D. We chose to. And I do think maybe that was wrong, but hey, we take our risks there. Maybe with like Flux Capacitor, Stone Ship, and some kind of tutor. Well, that's actually true. Like Flux is a way to charge it consistently all in one turn. That's kind of neat. Dag is like, doesn't really make sense, but Flux makes sense. Orca could make sense. But again, I'm not convinced that what you want to do is to get the Time Bomb to be sooner, more than you want to get your things to be more powerful. Flux Capacitor, Chas, Time Bomb. Yeah, Orca. You pay 10 credits. You get a faster Time Bomb. That's what everyone wants, right? What's Chas, Ixaran? Katorgas and Bostulas. What's Chas? Oh, it's not good, but the jank is compelling. Yeah, I can see why someone wants to, like, why people would want to do Time Bomb in what's it called? Like, Time Bomb's a really flavorful card. It's really fun. Oh, Chistushka. Of course. Yeah, that makes immediate sense. Cool. It's 11:40. That's going to be it for a stream tonight. Thanks so much for joining. Again, apologies there hasn't been video stuff on this channel as of late. We have stuff, I'm going to edit tomorrow. We should have something up on the Saturday morning, which is nice. It's startup stuff, and it's startup modernism, which is a really fun archetype and actually kind of works. I think that's largely it. Hey, nice stream. Thanks, Loathing. Thanks for streaming. Cheers. Yeah, thanks to Pat for joining me. I know he's been feeling a bit under the weather. It's good to see him again, at least virtually. We haven't seen him in a minute. And I think that's largely it. We'll be back next week. It'll be this top of February. That seems nice, doesn't it? Good night, everyone. Take care. Thanks so much for everyone hanging out on the VOD, everyone we play games with, and see you in a bit.